What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the Flora-Bama. This is our pre-show for the pregame show, and I love doing this, and I know you guys love watching because we get to kind of riff a little bit. You can cuss.
Oh,
and, yeah, there you go, Jen Parnell.
I can't talk without cussing.
Whiskey Willie.
Whiskey Willie.
I thought it was funny. Had a few too many drinks with Jake Coker yesterday in the Roll Tide Pods area, and Jen was nice enough to bring me a Bloody Mary, and it's the first time that I've ever gotten handed a drink, and the guy that actually made the drink was like right there. So Whiskey Willie, what's up, man?
Everything's good. Everything's good. It was a great summer season, and fall is looking great, and everybody's drinking Bloody Marys and my margarita mix, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, how do you
happy and grateful?
That's cool. How do you get started? Like there's this like you make this at home, and then you're like, hey, we ought to can this.
I was a country club bartender for years in
Florida,
Ennisbrook, in Central Florida on the West Coast, and a lot of old bartenders there that worked in big prestigious places in Florida. And one night we ran out of Bloody Mary mix, and one of the old guys was about 65 then, younger than I am now, said, "How's your Bloody Mary mix?" And I said, "I love them. I've been drinking them since duck hunting in Mexico, so I love them." He said, "Well, make me one. You may be making it for the whole resort." So I made him one, and he said, "Get you some 5-gallon buckets. We need 10 5-gallon buckets for the weekend, so start making it." And from then on, I made it at that Ennisbrook, and then I went on to work for Daryl's and moved up to Mobile, and ended up liking it down here at the beach. But back in the old days, if anybody can remember, in the wintertime, there was no money.
Yeah, right.
And January came around, and I happened to find in an old coat pocket $6, and I went and bought a cheap bottle of wine and a chicken, and celebrated like I was rich.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
Yeah. But then the next morning, while having a Bloody Mary, I thought, I've got to. If I want to live here, I got to do something to have a little more
earn
income.
my keep.
I got to do something.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the type of bartender that liked to move and go to Aspen for the winter season. I like to stay put, so I needed to sell something. So the following summer, I started practicing making it and bottling Bloody Mary mix. Introduced it at the Shrimp Festival. Everybody loved it. It was, I thought, a big success.
Yeah.
And as I like to say, I started the whole operation with about $236 of tip money. And I still have $235 left, so I think I'm a big success.
You did all right. Well, I like this. It's spicy. I like a spicy Bloody Mary.
I love Whiskey Willie's. I feel like it's a household name, though. Like, you've done really well for yourself.
It's been 40 years, and I'm still, like I said, I got $35. I mean, $35 left. So
you're winning. There you go, and you're living at the beach still.
Living at the beach. Still here.
Able to stay.
Still here.
One of the first cool things I ever did was when I was at Alabama in college. I was the promotions guy for U.S. Tobacco, and we sponsored concerts, right? Right. And one of the concerts was Willie Nelson, and he sings a great song about Bloody Marys.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I love.
You like Willie?
I love Willie, and I love.
How ironic, right?
Yeah. And I loved Jimmy when he mentioned his Bloody Mary. He wandered next door to the bar.
Yeah.
Bloody Mary.
Oh, I miss Jimmy so much.
I listened to that every morning for years. Every Saturday morning, I just said, "Man, I gotta wander next door to the bar. Had to have a Bloody Mary."
How many places how many states are you guys in now? I know down here we know,
Yeah. It's
you got this market pretty much latched up. When you get into Flora-Bama too, that's got to be like big time.
When back in the day when it was me, Pat, and Joe.
Yeah.
When Joe said, why aren't we using your Bloody Mary mix? I said, I don't know. I just don't, I don't want to ever be that neighbor that's always trying to sell you life insurance.
Right.
I said, I just don't. He said, well, bring it in here. We'll put it in here. I said,
yeah.
Okay.
This history there.
Yeah. So it was, and that was a big hit for me. So I'm so appreciative to this area in general, but particularly to the Flora-Bama.
We drink a lot down here.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
I fit right in.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, cool. Well, great to meet you. I just thought, we saw you kind of.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, wait, there he
Yeah, well, she just brought this to me, and then she's like, "Oh, there's the guy right there, Whiskey Willie." I was like, "Oh, well, let's bring him on."
The pleasure wasn't is entirely mine. I had to come down here to borrow something from the Flora-Bama, and I'm parked out back by the garbage cans, which is where I belong. That's why there's no parking. and that's the door they let me in. I can't come in the front.
Yeah, that's a good door to be in. I've used that side door before. It's a very good door.
I probably shouldn't even say this, but I know how to get in.
You know the code?
Boy, you get one of those. Reach over.
Yeah. Let's not give away too many secrets.
No, you can't. You can only do it if they recognize you on the camera.
Yeah, right. That's true too.
I'm sure security saying that's Whiskey Willie again coming over the gate. Here he comes. Watch your pockets. Watch your liquor inventory.
What was the toughest part about going from making whiskey, making Bloody Marys, and then making them to sell in a bottle?
Well, marketing,
right,
and perfecting the recipe to be bottled where it still tasted like fresh made, bartender made mix,
right,
and
I guess, to make sure every bottle was the same. That's
yeah.
Well, that ended up, strangely enough, once you get the formula, then it's become scientific.
Sure.
So
right.
It's pretty easy. But anytime you move to a different bottler, or finding the bottles, finding the tomato puree, finding everything you needed in it, that was a that was a big deal. And continuing that for 40 years has been, it has its complications. But honestly, the reason why I'm good at it is because there's really nothing to do. It's easy. All I have to do is talk mainly.
Yeah, right. Now you're the spokesman for Whiskey Willie.
I call it the handshake tour. So
yeah.
Well, you're good at that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, don't want to hold you too long. I just thought it would be cool to get you to jump on with us. And
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'll enjoy the Bloody Mary over here, and
you might have to have another one.
I may do it. Honestly, it's just the best I've felt all day.
Well, good.
I'm just going to throw that out there.
And I still need the money. So.
I'll buy some more.
Let's deplete the inventory a little
bit.
It was while we have the chance.
It's been a very miserably long day for me. I haven't did a 5-mile walk like this. I'm impressed.
You tried to get over that hump.
You got to, to be able to go out and do your thing. The exercise is something that I make myself do.
Nothing wrong with a 5-mile walk and 2 Bloody Marys.
Yeah, and 2 Bloody Marys.
3 Bloody Marys.
3. What's I mean, while we're talking Bloody Marys, I mean, it's 11 a.m. game tomorrow. Great. Was it always like this where everybody threw all the shit in there with them? I love crab meat in mine. I'm from Baltimore.
They put crab meat in them?
I mean, no, you go places and it's like bacon and, and
a whole chicken.
Yeah, like anything you put in there. And honestly, there's not a lot of stuff that people put in that I don't like. I've had them with oysters they put in there, shrimp. I mean, I'm like, crab meat, jumbo lump crab is my favorite in a Bloody Mary.
I've never had the jumbo lump crab in them.
Because it's a Baltimore thing.
You could put that lump crab meat in a 5-gallon drum of tar and it would still be pretty good.
Still be good.
You can't hardly beat crab meat.
What's the craziest ingredient? Something that people have had, topper, we'll call it.
Well, I think what I would call a little bit over the top are the giant king crab clusters. Which are just I'm a traditionalist. I want to get to the Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
I'll eat crab legs later. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I don't even put ice in mine sometime. But the whole chicken. Yeah, I think it's people love it. So and it promotes Bloody Mary.
People really put a whole chicken in there.
I'm not complaining.
Do a whole burger. I've seen a big old cheeseburger.
Yeah, like a cheeseburger in there before.
And that new wave of promotion of Bloody Marys has helped the business in general, which helps me. So,
so you're good with it.
Yeah, whatever you want in there.
I'm not complaining, just explaining. I like it. I do pickled shrimp in mine. I pickle shrimp. Been doing them for years. Nice fresh piece of celery. Only the heart in mine. I like the leafy part of the tender celery.
Yeah.
Nice fresh lime and lemon wedge to squeeze on top. Maybe a little spicy salt.
Right. And
a big straw.
So people they see you though, they're expecting you to drink Bloody Marys. I mean, you can't just go in, we're sponsored by Yuengling and Skrewball. You rock those, but people think when they see you,
I've got to have a Bloody Mary.
You do. So do you drink a lot of them? Is there a point where you're like, man, being Whiskey Willie is a tough job. Like this is.
Well, I alternate between the vodka, the Bloody Mary, or the Bloody Maria because
Right.
I'm a tequila fan, and if I'm doing a lot of promotion, I also like Bloody Mary mix in beer, ice cold beer with Bloody Mary mix in it.
Well, I've seen that. Like you'll see, like it's kind of a Latino thing where they'll mix like
Corona in it.
Right.
I take my Corona.
Modelo's have that,
Take my Corona or my Modelo, take 2 glucks out of it. Fill it full of Bloody Mary mix, about that much in the glass. Turn the bottle upside down. Love it, absolutely.
Really? Well, we're getting an education here. I didn't expect this either.
Now you have some options. You don't have to do straight Bloody Marys for the rest of the time. We'll give you some like new designs, some new cocktails.
And I was thinking this, like maybe Bloody Marys to start and then old fashions to finish, since we're playing Kentucky.
There you go.
It's a pretty good night right there.
Very Bloody Mary mix, especially Whiskey Willies. In a beer, very refreshing, and it gives you can last a little longer.
Do you have different like styles of Bloody Mary mix that you do? I mean,
I do it Whiskey Willies original, and I do a Whiskey Willies extreme, and the extreme has a little bit bigger particulates in it. The peppers a bigger grind. The horseradish is a bigger grind, and I actually use some cayenne in it to provide a heat on the back of the palate.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, like really, I'm not just saying it because you're here. If it was something I didn't like, I'm serious. If it was something I didn't like, we just wouldn't have had you on. I'm a fan, so like,
you could have waved me off.
Yes, well, we saw you over there, and we're like, there's so. We don't need him. Now I'm like, look, it really is good. It really is what we get, when we're doing Bloody Marys. I can see the bottle. I mean, and thanks for coming on.
Hey, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. Good
tell people where they can find you at, because people from all over the country might be watching.
Well, I will tell you just a little hint. If you have a bottle of Whiskey Willies, on the side of the bottle, on the side of the label, on the informational part of the label, is my cell phone number on every single bottle.
Really?
Your actual cell phone
it rings right here in my pocket.
I've seen it on there before, but I'm like, is that really
It's my cell phone number. Yeah.
That's amazing.
What's the weirdest thing that anyone's ever called to tell you?
The biggest question is, where can I find it?
Okay.
And that's why my number's on there. Or how do I make one?
Right.
I mean, and you wouldn't think that would be a question. When you read on any label, shake, open, and shake, you would think that most people would.
Self-explanatory.
But the norm. Some consumers don't get that.
Right.
They may not be from our country, or they may be new to the whole scene. So, or they may be younger people. So, I like them to call me, and I'll tell them some of the same questions that we're talking about now.
But nothing never crazy.
Can I put a whole chicken on there?
Yeah. Nobody ever pranks you off of that?
I just tell them right away. I always tell them.
You're asking for it.
I said, just get 3 bottles. That's the best way to buy it.
Yeah, right. Buy the 3.
One will never be enough. Buy them at 3.
You're always going to want more.
Yeah. I got kids in college. I need you to buy 3. So anyway.
Where are they in college at?
Well, actually, they're out now, but my older son went to MIT in Boston, and is graduating, working for a private equity firm in Atlanta, doing quite well. My youngest son went to Auburn, War Eagle, and sorry, we done now?
Yeah. We got that game's 3 weeks from now.
So okay.
Yeah,
and he.
I liked you when you said MIT, but then
MIT's football team.
Yeah,
they couldn't believe the football in the SEC.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the stadium looked like the same stadium that I had in my 6th grade.
Oh yeah.
And they
right.
see the SEC and they're like,
100,000 people.
Yeah.
My son used to say, we wouldn't believe this. We have 100,000 people at a game down there.
Yeah.
No way. Oh yeah.
That's how we do it.
Yep, that's how we do it. So anyway, they're both doing good and living in Atlanta and loving life.
Well, that's great. Well, Whiskey Willie, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure was entirely
Make sure you say hi to Chris Bryan over there from Fox Sports.
I certainly will. Chris, all right, good deal.
Great to see you.
Okay, good night to all. Thanks for being here.
All right, Whiskey Willie.
See ya.
What a surprise, Jen.
I know.
You made that. You made the Whiskey Willie happen for us. Which I. All right. Well, we are 5 minutes away from the start of the radio portion of the show. Thanks again, really. Great stuff. See you next time. And then oh,
yeah, you got to deal with that.
so, like, there's Taylor Presley. What's up, TP? You got a big game, TP, with those with that Ole Miss Rebels. All right, we got 4 minutes before the radio portion of the show starts. Frank Brown, pretty cool this year, huh?
Yeah, I love Frank Brown.
Yeah, you got to pull it up a little bit closer.
I can't hear myself, but I can continue talking.
All right, keep talking.
Yeah, so Frank Brown's going on right now, and it goes on until November 19th. So it's been a good turnout. It started yesterday, and today there's, a line out the door in the main room. People have been sitting in there all day trying to go see all the different songwriters we have. And I went to a different round last night, and I didn't know the writers before I got there. It was amazing. They'd sang like massive hit songs that I knew. It was great.
Is that Steve?
No, it wasn't Steve. Steve's going to come down here in a minute, though.
Can't see. I've got this blinding light in front of me.
Does it make your complexion look good?
You know what? It used to look good, and then I keep getting older, and it's just like, I need more time in the sun these days,
Vitamin D does the body good.
It does. But I'm not real excited about the cold weather coming.
Well, is it really? I know it's supposed to rain for like the next 5 days or something straight, which I'm not looking forward to that. But I could use a little bit of cold weather. It's been muggy and kind of weird today, so but I don't want it too cold. Like,
yeah, right.
A comfortable long sleeve shirt and maybe some jeans.
It's been like it's been months since it rained, and I know like I'll go outside and like play ball with my son and the dog. And the dog like kicks up dust like we're in like, the desert or something. Like, he'll run and get the ball.
Be careful
and
not catching stuff on fire. If you're out there grilling or something.
Yeah, like a big puff of dirt comes flying up.
It's been nuts.
Yeah, this place is great. I told you when I got here, I love it here. Like I wish we lived like, and I'm only like 40 minutes away, but
you're pretty close.
Yeah, but I'd love to live like 3 blocks away,
That could be dangerous. Too,
I know.
But, look, I'm here every day and I love it. I don't feel like there's a better spot to be. If you're going to come to work every day, you want to enjoy it and enjoy the people.
I know.
The people here are great.
They are. We got some swag. We're hooking the peeps up with.
Yuengling.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because of the brewery. Yeah. We did the show from that brewery once. Yeah, when Bama played Clemson for the national championship there. Yeah, it was cool. It's like Laverne and Shirley watching all the bottles like go down the line and everything. All right, guys, look, in 2 minutes, we're going to start the actual radio show. Got Chris Bryan's here, and Chad Anderson's going to jump on, and we're going to preview Alabama and Kentucky. And it's going to be fun.
It's always fun.
So what are you up to?
Well, after I get done here, I'm going to go upstairs. We're going to turn the main room over, get people to pay their cover charge, and we'll just be hanging out for songwriters. Oh, nice. Who's you got 1 minute. Who's the most famous songwriter that's going to be here? Oh, God, I don't know. I'd have to look. So every hour there's a different round, and there's 3 to 4 songwriters per round up there. So I'd have to look at it, but there's some good ones. Yeah, there's some good ones. All right. Well, thank you. No, thank you. And let's we've got a radio show to record here. Do your thing. I know, but thanks for the Bloody Mary and the guy that made the Bloody Mary. Isn't that fun? I'm like, Whiskey Willie. Hey, this is what's great about the pre-show is that you can throw Whiskey Willie on the show. Help yourself. Yeah, do whatever you want. Do whatever we want. Yes, sir. Our thing. Hey guys, like and subscribe, and let's get ready for the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. We're going back to Saturday right now. So just don't forget that, guys, as we start the show right now.
The original Bama Football Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad with former Crimson Tide Sports Network broadcaster and SEC Network play-by-play voice, Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented by Yuengling Larger. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. the only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play. Now featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge. Also brought to you by the Flora-Bama world-famous Beach Bar and Lounge in Orange Beach, Alabama. Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Luxury with a national championship service department. Sevierville. Your Smokies start here. Visit Sevierville.com. Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Hyundai. The longer you look, the more there is to like. R&R Cigars. Home of the Cigar Mansion and Victory Cigar. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa. Unique Bar on the Strip. Home of the NFL, MLB, Premier League package. Catch all the games at Unique. Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. Visit Tuscaloosa.com. Pond Royale, located at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. And NewLifeArt.com, publisher of Fine Art Editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code Bama Tailgate for a discount at NewLifeArt.com. Now your host of the Tailgate Show, Mick Gillispie.
Roll Tide, everybody, and welcome to the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. Our show is going to preview number 8 Alabama at Kentucky, 11 o'clock, Kroger Field in Lexington. We got a jam-packed show for you today, brought to you by Yuengling Larger, America's oldest brewery here at the Flora-Bama, giving away the swag as we talk football today. Coming on next segment will be Chris Bryan, our buddy from Fox Sports Pensacola. He's going to be on with us, and every Saturday in Pensacola, you guys listen to the show, and you know Chris. Well, he's teaming up with us today. We got Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN the Zone in Huntsville. Kenny White out in Vegas with Reagan from R&R Cigars to do our pick segment, which surprisingly, this is supposed to be pros versus Joes. A 4-0 week for Reagan has tied the great Sharp. So down the stretch they go. We got Andrew Bone, the recruiting guru from BamaOnline, part of On3 and the On3 Sports Network. Steve Powers, our buddy from the Flora-Bama, and other guests on the show. Mention that the show is presented by Yuengling Larger, a 6th-generation company. Cheryl Yuengling, who's part of the company's ownership, is a proud Alabama grad, and she puts a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles. And I want to tell you guys, for those of you that are looking for that alternative to Mick Ultra, try Yuengling Flight. You're talking about low in carbs, low in calories, but very good in taste. It's a really great light beer. I'm with Chad Anderson. We're going to talk about Alabama and Kentucky. The Crimson Tide 8-1, Kentucky 6-3, and just kind of setting the scene here at the Flora-Bama. Love it at the Flora-Bama, Perdido Key. This is where we do all of our road game shows. So we'll be back here again for the Auburn game. And Alabama coming off of that huge win over LSU. Jalen Milroe finally healthy, finally running like the guy that we knew he could run like, and he scored 4 touchdowns, setting an Alabama all-time record for quarterbacks. It was a dominant performance in the fourth quarter for the defense, and Alabama with the win, one step closer to clinching an SEC title berth. A win by Alabama in this football game against Kentucky, or a loss by Ole Miss, and Alabama's gone back to Atlanta to take on most likely Georgia. So 3 weeks left, and Bama needs some help, not in the SEC, but in the national championship picture. We're going to talk about that as well. What does Bama need to get to the title game again, to win another national championship, to get into the college football playoff? Everybody is looking at this game today. The Kentucky against Alabama game, a very rare trip for the Crimson Tide to Lexington, and they're calling it a trap game. Does Alabama know that it's a trap game? Are they prepared for this game? We're going to talk about that, and we've got a great show coming up for you here to do it. I want to remind you, too, 10% off. Use the promo code Bama Tailgate, newlifeart.com. All of those great Daniel Moore prints, they look fantastic, and we are going to talk with our friends when we come back. It's all about Alabama football, and here we go right after this.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer from the Flora-Bama, and it's time for Flora-Bama Fun Facts. The Flora-Bama first opened in 1964, and we're celebrating our 59th year of doing it on the line. We host over 150 events every year, including Mullet Toss, Oktoberfest, Halloween Costume Party, Frank Brown Songwriters, Thanksgiving and Christmas Potluck, the biggest New Year's Eve party, and of course, the Polar Bear Plunge on January 1st. All the events, including our live music schedule, are available online at florabama.com.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at danielmooreart.com.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie. TheCigarMansion.com.
See yourself in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here.
This is My Great Escape, where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Back on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, hanging out at the Flora-Bama, getting you ready for the 11 o'clock kickoff between Alabama and Kentucky. And we just got a visit from Pickleball Paul.
Great guy, man.
Yeah.
Just pickleball.
He's a regular caller on Kentucky Sports Radio. Those guys do a great job over there, by the way. I'm Mick Gillispie with Steve Bryan from Fox Sports Pensacola, WPNN over there as well, Alabama's flagship station. Chad Anderson is on here with us as well, and we're talking about Alabama and Kentucky setting the scene here at the Flora-Bama. And guys, I want to start off by welcoming you both to the show. Jalen Milroe finally to the big stage, Chad.
Yeah. Milroe was the guy that, boy, if you look through the first, Mick, 3 weeks of the year, the guy was getting run out of town. It was, where's Ty Simpson? How good is Tyler Buckner? All it took was a game in Tampa against South Florida to figure out that this is why Nick Saban had and believed in Jalen Milroe the entire offseason. And you go back and look, remember last year, Milroe looked okay against Arkansas. He basically helped preserve and survive that game on the road, but looked terrible against Texas A&M. And that was kind of the last time Bama fans remember him. And now all of a sudden, I think I saw the other day where he was number 6 or 7 in the odds for the Heisman Trophy. So what a spin and turn of events from just earlier this year to what he's able to do now. But, that was a huge win last week. And even though Milroe couldn't beat LSU with his arm on the deep balls like he's done with other teams, man, he showed off those legs. He showed off the extra gears in that game, and that was pretty remarkable.
Now, what'd you think, Chris?
Well, I was going to say this. It was Thursday afternoon. It started really coming in. We got these calls about Jalen and about him running the ball a lot. But there was the element of concern. That was the Bama fans were saying, should he be pressed that much going down the stretch here? It's coming up. We've got the Kentucky game. We got the Auburn game. Then we've got hopefully the playoff games. And there's a concern for safety in terms of, do you run him as he did against LSU?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, you got to win that game. And I feel like he's already been hurt. I just feel like it was the first time that he's really been healthy in a long time, even though no one's saying that. I go back to it continuously. I think he got hurt like Vegas thought going into that Texas A&M game. He had to learn how to be a drop back passer. And then all of a sudden, now that he can run, it makes him very dynamic. And all of a sudden, he's a guy that's being mentioned. He's not going to win the Heisman, but he's starting to get mentioned in that conversation. He's also mentioned as one of the best quarterbacks in football, which is crazy. I mean, he didn't even have the job until week 3, right?
Yeah, no, I don't want to get people confused. I don't think he's a Heisman winner. Okay, I'm just saying he went from getting run out of town. Okay, he went from having to get an Uber out of town to go back to Katy, Texas, to now everybody defending him and what he's done. And it has been a very impressive the second half of Tennessee and the entire game against LSU, and even on the road at A&M and what they did against Ole Miss. But yeah, he went from that guy to now very beloved in a matter of about 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, it reminds me of Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest Gump, run. Run, Jalen, run.
The funny thing is, I thought that Jaden Daniels ran like Forrest Gump in that game. It's like it just looked awkward, but no one could touch him.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Milroe looked like honestly, he looked like Derrick Henry. I mean, like he's just running over guys and punishing people for trying to tackle him. And he was so physical. I was super impressed with the way that he played. And I know a lot of you guys were as well, as we talk Alabama and Kentucky here on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. A lot of people watching on our YouTube channel, the Bama Tailgate channel. Thank you guys. Roll Tide to all you guys. Bama fan, Bob, D. Tider, and Taylor Presley. Love you guys for hanging out with us, and Jersey Dolphins on as well. And you guys that are on radio, make sure you swing by YouTube, Bama Tailgate. What atmosphere are you expecting at Kroger Field? What's it going to be like today?
Have you heard the forecast, the weather forecast up there? What are they calling for?
It's going to be cold. I don't know. I mean, maybe not too cold, but it should be. It'll be.
He's in partly sunny. There's my James Spann impersonation.
The weather shouldn't be an issue, right, Chad?
No, it's not going to play a factor.
Well, no.
What about the crowd? What about the crowd? It's a smaller stadium.
Yeah.
Chris is he's being harassed by the fans coming through
I
here.
think that there's going to be a lot of Bama fans out there. I think it's good. You're going to see
I think so too.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think down the stretch here, you're going to really see an outpouring of RTR. You know,
a lot of RTRs.
I've been there 3 times. And one time Bama sucked.
Were you there when we lost?
No, that was 97. I was not there when we lost.
Oh, I thought it was 03.
No, it was 97. It was Tim Couch. First time they had won against Alabama, and I think it was 75 years.
It was since World War I.
Yeah, it had been a minute since they had last beat Alabama. They've only beaten Alabama twice.
I know, in a tie.
World War I and 1997. But no, I think it was in 04. Like Bama was winning, but things weren't going well.
Right.
And Bo Freeland, remember that name, the punter?
No.
Okay, the punter, Bo Freeland. He didn't even intend to do it. It was like a bobbled snap on a punt.
And then he ran it.
Well, he faked it, but he ran it. Yeah, because he bobbled it. And so that got a first down and then kept momentum going. And then Alabama ended up winning pretty easily, 2 or 3 possessions. I was there in 09. I was there in 12. This is the best way I can describe it. It's like going to a Texas high school football game. It's a big stadium for high school, small for college, but it's easy. It's no hassle. Everybody's pretty friendly and cordial. They don't anticipate winning.
Like pickleball Paul, who just showed up here. You just make friends with them.
You just make friends. Mick, they had the basketball team come out between the first and the second quarter.
That's when everybody got fired up.
Yeah, that was it. That was the turning point for their, atmosphere, was between first and second quarter when Calipari came out.
I got in the middle of a fight in Louisville's airport between a Louisville fan and a Kentucky fan. It erupted and went, oh my gosh. And the driver said, oh, this is just normal. Don't worry.
Yeah. Don't worry. Just keep going. Yeah. Keep going, pal.
Just ignore those guys,
Yeah. What's kind of surprising to me, Roll Tide, is that the spread's only 11. Steve, how do you read into that? Then Chad, you go next. How do you read into that? The spread's only 11. What do you think, Steve?
Vegas. Somebody's going to win it. I don't know. To me, let me tell you, I'm concerned about the game. Not overly concerned, but it's those type of games that will get you if you don't watch it.
Right. It's a trap game.
Listen, Saban was talking about it this week. Leading up to that, we can't become complacent.
Yeah.
And he's right. He's absolutely right. Can't let your guard down in this game. So a little weary, but not freaking out about it. But Bama will win it. But I think it's going to be a little bit tougher than most people think.
Well, that's what the spread says, Chad.
Well, Mick, I feel like we need to have a talk with you, because I jump on in the background here and I'm watching the pre-show, before the radio broadcast today, and I'm watching some of what's going on, and you're
too confusing.
You're over here interviewing Auburn fans and high-fiving people, and I feel like what Nick Saban had to tell Miss Terry on Sunday morning. She's asking about Auburn. And you're over here high-fiving Auburn fans on it.
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah.
It came by. It was Whiskey Willie, and they gave me a Bloody Mary. And I mean, what are you going to do? Not have Whiskey Willie on your pre-show?
Absolutely not.
When it's 11 a.m. and I know we're going to talk bourbon on this show, so get ready. Think about your best bourbon drink, but we're not there yet. Okay.
That's also the reason for everybody on radio today to make sure you tune in on the YouTube channel, because there's stuff that you miss. There's a lot of fun stuff you miss before and after when we do these shows. But I'm with you guys. For me, I'm like, this is one that it should be maybe not as easy as Mississippi State, but a little easier than Ole Miss or something. But I just think it's one of those weird games. Bama's had an emotional last month. They went on the road, beat Texas A&M. Not that that's some crazy big victory from like a record and standings perspective or ranking perspective, but Alabama did go on the road and beat Texas A&M, who is a decent, quality football team, especially on the road. And then you beat Tennessee and you beat LSU. Like you are kind of exhausted. Like you step back, dadgum, man, we just had a couple of really tough games over the last 3 weeks, and you want the sigh of relief. But Kentucky's like just good enough, like they're just good enough to really screw you up and piss you off if you sleepwalk for too long.
Right.
So that's my concern. I'm with you guys. I don't think Bama loses today, but I just think it's going to be one of those like ugly type wins, and you survive and just move on to Chattanooga. But I'm annoyed about today's game. Just like Arkansas, the sandwich game. Today's annoying. It's just nothing but annoying.
Right. You just want to get to the Iron Bowl. You just want to get to Atlanta, but you got to play these two, and that's what makes it tough. Jalen Key and Deontay Lawson are both out, so Alabama won't have them. Is that going to affect the defense, Chad, or are you not worried about it?
Of course it's going to affect the defense. Those guys are solid. Lawson more so than Key. I mean, not that Key's a bad player. I think Lawson is more important to the team than Key, because Alabama has done phenomenally in the secondary. I mean, look at that secondary. McKinstry, Malachi Moore, Terrion Arnold.
Right.
I mean, those three alone are superstars. Key is great too, but I think in the middle, Lawson and Campbell are really big time anchors, and I just think Lawson's a little more valuable is all.
Yeah, right. Marshall and Campbell kind of fill into that spot, and the secondary has been great. Although LSU, I mean, as good as they were, man, watching that offense operate was pretty scary last week, and knowing that Alabama is not going to have to face them today, Chris, probably a good thing, huh?
Yeah. What do you guys take on the? I'm getting a lot of comments from Fox Sports Pensacola listeners about the respect that 11 o'clock game for Alabama, playing at 11 o'clock in the morning. They were really upset about this. This is one of our top 5 topics of sports this week, and it was about the disrespect of Alabama playing at 11 o'clock this morning.
It's just kind of the way that it has to be, though, because everybody kind of cycles through having to play that 11 o'clock game. I know it's the Auburn time slot, but it is the Auburn time slot, but we're sliding in there this week and next week, right? The 11 o'clock game.
All right.
It's the early game on television. So, all right, Steve, let me ask you this. A lot going on at Fox Sports Pensacola. Very proud to have you guys as part of our radio network, previewing Alabama and talking football every Saturday. And then the games are on your sister station, WPNN.
That's right.
You do the morning show.
Yep, and we're expanding our local program.
I saw that.
Not this Monday, but the following Monday, we come out of the morning show and we come on with the Fox News Sports Report from 8 to 9. Really high paced. It's not so much a long format talk show. It's a lot of stories, a lot of audio, a lot of actualities.
Right.
And it's pretty exciting to kind of maneuver that.
Yeah, so you're going to be on WPNN, and then you're going to be on Fox Sports.
Walk down the hallway and
crank up a new show.
Studio.
Yeah, so Zach's going to be on there with you.
Right. And we've been real busy. We just got off working with the Orlando Magic in Mexico City 2 nights ago.
Okay.
They were playing on Thursday night down in Mexico, part of the NBA's global games type thing. So we're in the full engaged gear. We've got a lot of announcements coming up for the spring with the Rays and our association with the Tampa Bay Rays. And so it's really expanding, moving quickly, and we're very excited at what's going on. And you're an integral part of kicking off our Saturday mornings here as we are today.
Well, thanks, Bryan.
It kind of sets the stage for the game. Then we ask people to cycle over to the 103.7 or WPNN app.
Right.
So we'll have the game on a little bit later, just a couple hours from right now, 11 o'clock.
All right. Well, look, guys, hang loose. We got Thom Abraham, Andrew Bone, and then Kenny White from Vegas coming on to jump on the show. And then the 3 of us will be back with Steve Powers for the final 3 segments, and then maybe some overtime. I want to remind the people that are commenting on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel, thank you. Chief 18 Wheels, Steven, JM12 Green, Rob, all you guys, man. Roll Tide to all of you. Coming up next, we're gonna get the scoop from our friend Thom Abraham, ESPN the Zone, host of the Thom Abraham Show every day. We're gonna talk Alabama and Kentucky and maybe what it's going to take for Alabama to get into the postseason. Thom says Alabama's in if they win out. So I'm glad that he said that because I wasn't convinced. I'm going to get your guys' opinion on that as well. Don't go anywhere. More of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show coming up.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, Barry Buckner. It all adds up. Every time a Tuscaloosa Hyundai customer refers a friend or family member to come see us, we are truly grateful. I compare it to doubling a penny for 30 days. Believe it or not, by day 30, that one penny is over $5 million. Now that's adding up. I remind every Tuscaloosa Hyundai team member, it's only a satisfied customer who will give you a referral. That ultimate compliment earned by effort and excellence. And Tuscaloosa Hyundai has all the tools. A new vehicle lineup to meet any driving need. Premium pre-owned under 100,000 miles that we stand behind with our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty. Award-winning service, a company that values being named best of the best by our community. But above all, we are sincere in earning the trust that leads to a customer referral. And trust is priceless. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove, TuscaloosaHyundai.com.
Hey, this is Reagan, owner of R&R Cigars, the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, located at 2703 6th Street across from the Home 2 Suites. Come down to R&R and see why we're the ultimate cigar and bourbon experience. With over 165 bourbons and 5 private barrels, our selection of bourbon is unmatched. We have the best cocktails around and our cigar selection is legendary. Our lounge and service are world-class. Come and experience the luxury of the mansion and see why it's a world-renowned cigar and spirits destination.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
This is my great escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pot.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Great to have all you guys back as we get ready for Alabama and Kentucky. That's an 11 o'clock kickoff Central Time. Lexington Kroger Field, big game for the Crimson Tide, and we're covering it here on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, always brought to you by Yuengling Larger, America's oldest brewery, and really happy to be at the Flora-Bama on the line, Perdido Key, for the show. Coming at us next, as he does every week from North Alabama, Huntsville area, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, Mr. Thom Abraham, host of the Thom Abraham Show Daily. What's up, Tom?
I want to be at the Flora-Bama, man. I love Perdido Key. I love going down there. And, the cold weather has rolled in up here in North Alabama. I wouldn't mind being down there hanging out at the Flora-Bama for sure, even though it's, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy.
Well, come on down, man. I mean, maybe next game. We're going to be here every time Alabama plays on the road. This is our home. So, I'd love to have you come and hang out with us in person and have some bushwhackers and enjoy the sunset. Even this time of year is nice.
Yeah. No, it is. It's beautiful down there.
Let me remind you that this segment's brought to you by Visit Sevierville. It's a great time with fall in full bloom to visit the Smoky Mountains. Visit Sevierville.com/fall for anything you need as far as guides and points of interest and all that stuff as well. Jalen Milroe has a superpower with his legs. Whew. They could not stop him, LSU. Unbelievable 4 touchdowns. Didn't even need to throw the football.
Did Alabama have this in the package all along and just not spring it? I mean, were they waiting till later in the season for the LSU game? You don't want to run them 15, 18 times a game and take the chance of getting them banged up throughout the season. I mean, we've been hollering and screaming for this for so long, all season long. And now all of a sudden, he's they had all these plays called for him as a runner. And it was so dynamic, and it opened up the passing game, and it opened up the other parts of the running game as well. And it was really neat to see. So I don't know, maybe Tommy Rees is crazy like a fox, and he was just holding this package until we got to late in the season or needed it against LSU.
I've been under the impression that he was injured going into the Texas A&M game, something that prevented him to run, and he's healthy. And you could see it kind of in that Tennessee game. But it still wasn't what we saw the first game of the season. And the effort that he had, and Tom, you go back with me. I mean, we're a couple of Bama OGs. It was like Sean Alexander, 96, down in Baton Rouge. I mean, in this series, it was an historical performance.
It was, and his ability to put the foot in the ground and just accelerate was really amazing. I mean, some of the things that he was able to do on a couple of those runs, and I love the one where he just kind of drifted along the line of scrimmage for a moment. It almost looked like he was going to toss it out to the running back who was off to his left. And then just all of a sudden, like a seed coming out of a grape, boom, right into the end zone. He shoots. He just has that innate ability. And earlier this week, I saw one article that had Tim Tebow's name in the same headline as Jalen Milroe, and how Jalen Milroe is, on the Tim Tebow path. All of a sudden, he went from being a guy that, couldn't play his way out of a paper bag, and now he's being referred to as a potential Tim Tebow-like athlete.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, people were mentioning him in the Heisman race after the game on the post-game show I do. I've had people send me the list of the best quarterbacks in the country, and now all of a sudden he's in there, middle of the pack, but would have never expected this the way that the season started. It almost benefited him to have whatever injury kept him from running, because he had to basically be a pocket passer to win some of those games. Now he's healthy again. He's got his, full complement of weapons, and he's really dangerous. Now that leads us into today's game against Kentucky. This is, to me, the perfect trap game.
Yeah.
If Alabama's not careful. I mean, you're talking about two intense rivalry games, and then now Kentucky at 11 o'clock in Lexington, and no one's talking about them.
Yeah, and they're, you look at the tail of the tape, actually they're very similar to Alabama in a number of different ways. Now, a lot of people talk about their rushing attack because they got the running back that ran for like 400 yards against Florida. But they lost 3 straight games after that before they got, the break that everybody needs apparently this season going up against Mississippi State, and that they got the victory there. But Alabama actually runs the ball a little bit better than Kentucky. They throw the ball a little bit better than Kentucky. Their defense is a little bit better than Kentucky. The points allowed, Kentucky's defense has been pretty stout this year. Alabama's defense, has been, historical at times and certainly can do some great things. But it is interesting when you look at the numbers this late in the season where you've got enough numbers 9 games in that you can kind of, they mean something. Their numbers are very similar to Alabama's.
Right.
Alabama's just going to completely swamp them with athletes. And you're right. This is about mindset. Continue to play clean ball. Don't have the penalties. Don't have the turnovers. Go there. Take care of business. All the analytics say they got a 99% chance now of winning the West. You don't want to just win the West. I mean, you can win the West by losing again. They got to just win one of the last 2 games against Kentucky or Auburn to win the West. But that's not what they're looking for. They need to get to Atlanta, undefeated in the SEC and have a chance to make the playoffs. So everything is still right there in front of them. And this one here, they're going to have to take care of an early game in Kentucky and get this thing, get it handled and get back home.
I feel like Alabama, and this is definitely going to be what we're talking about next week. I think Alabama's going to beat Georgia. I think they're going to get there and beat Georgia. They've just got to get there and beat Georgia, like you said, undefeated. But they still don't have a clear path to the national championship.
I think that is a clear path. I think that is a clear path. I think beating Georgia and being 12-1 there is no way. I don't care what Texas does. I don't care what anybody. There is no way that committee will keep a 12-1 SEC champion out of the national championship playoff. I think it is a clear path. I think they start jumping over people like they already got the number 1 schedule now, and that's before they play Georgia in Atlanta. So. That's obviously not going to be an easy game. Let's see what Georgia does today with Ole Miss. I mean, Georgia has a couple of tough tests now all of a sudden, down the stretch. And I think Alabama fans need Georgia to keep winning. I think the interesting thing would be from a Georgia perspective, if Georgia were to lose to Ole Miss today, let's say, and then turn around and beat Alabama in Atlanta, does that 12-1 SEC champion also still make the college football playoff? But I will debate Alabama not having a clear path. I think they have a clear path. I think they win out. It can't be denied.
But you know what, though? If you got an undefeated Ohio State or Michigan, right, they're in. You get Florida State undefeated, they're in, right? If Washington goes undefeated, they're in. And then all of a sudden it comes down to Texas and Alabama, and if they're both with 1 loss and won their conference and Texas won the head-to-head matchup, if you leave them out, Texas – which their own conference might be like, hey, Alabama's probably the deserving team, just to put a little salt in the wound. But there's going to be a lot of pissed off people around the world of college football. So
they can be
it's not a guarantee to me.
They can be upset all they want, but the reality is going to be all the matrix say that Alabama's schedule much more difficult, and that was week 2. That was week 2. What would happen if they played again? I mean, look at Texas is barely getting by in some of their games now. Alabama, they're 4-1 against top 30 teams, and they're blowing beating these teams by 2 touchdowns, while Texas is beating K-State by 3 and hanging on to do it. And now with Oklahoma losing to, Oklahoma beat Texas. Oklahoma got beat by Oklahoma State, who got beat by South Alabama, who got beat by Louisiana. You know what I mean? How far deep? Who got beat by Arkansas State, for God's sake? So how far do you want to go with head-to-head? When you talk about that, I think at the end they won't be able to deny it. But in your scenario, the team that I think is most likely to drop is Washington. I think Washington's hanging by a thread right now, and they got I think at some point in time, and then we're going to be talking about a 1-loss Washington and a 1-loss Oregon.
Right.
Everyone talks about Oregon being the number 1. Right now they're the number 1 1-loss team. In the standings. I'm not sure why. Alabama and Texas number 10 schedule, Alabama number 1 schedule. Alabama and Texas have a better resume than Oregon. Why is Oregon 5 or 6? Texas and Alabama 7 and 8. So it's going to be really interesting. But in my mind, I can't think of a world where a 12-1 SEC champion is not part of the playoff. It just doesn't make any sense.
Make a great point there. It would be it would definitely be a first, right? Yeah. If you kept the SEC out. And you're right. For Oregon, I mean, they do play USC this week, which all of a sudden now has become an easier game. But their strength of schedule, besides the Utah win, Colorado's their next best win. So that's a big drop off from where Alabama is. But the Crimson Tide need to take care of business, and I agree with one of the callers on the postgame show that said Alabama needs style points. I think they need to win these games, and they need to really win these games, not just kind of sneak by, because if it comes down to, like you said, like they're figuring out whether you got to take Alabama or Texas, and all of a sudden, all of Alabama's wins are blowout wins, it's going to make it easier for the committee to pick Alabama.
Well, that's what they did this past week. They beat LSU by 14, and Texas beats an unranked Kansas State team, hangs on at the end to win by 3. So that's style points there. The style point win over Tennessee. And they got to continue to do that. You're right.
All right. Thom, always great hanging out with you. We do it every single week. Let's get back together and talk about the big matchup with Chattanooga next week. Yeah.
Another 11 o'clock game besides.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, another coffee with the Bama Tailgate Show.
Yeah. But the funny thing is that at church, it would have been a perfect week to do the church stuff.
Yeah, next week would have been. Yeah, so they got 11 o'clock next week. I said, I don't care about the chance.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen.
I want to see this game, yeah.
All right, guys, that's Thom Abraham, host of the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN the Zone up in Huntsville, North Alabama. When we come back, we're going to talk more Alabama and Kentucky. The original Bama Football Tailgate Show rolls on after this.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at DanielMooreArt.com.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer from the Flora-Bama, and we're excited that football is back. The Flora-Bama is proud to support Alabama football, and we invite you to join us at Flora-Bama Old River Grill for a game day experience like no other. We have over 40 TVs and a brand new game day menu that includes endless wings, Santa Fe egg rolls, street corn nachos, and so much more. Bring your friends and join us for all the college and NFL games. Flora-Bama's Old River Grill, open at 11 a.m. daily, right across the street from the world-famous Flora-Bama.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Skrewball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Skrewball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Skrewball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to SkrewballWhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Skrewball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors. 35.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene, too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
This is My Great Escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots.
Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort?
No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Great to be joined by Andrew Bone as we get you set for Alabama and Kentucky. That's an 11 o'clock kickoff, Kroger Field, Lexington. Want to remind you guys that the show is presented by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, a sixth-generation company, and our friend Cheryl Yuengling, who graduated from Alabama. Same tenure, same university as Bone and I back in the day. Puts a little bit of crimson love in each one of those bottles. And when you're looking for that alternative to Mick Ultra, you need to try Yuengling Flight. Great taste, crisp, low in carbs and calories. And you can pick that up wherever you get your beers. All right, let's get into this, Bone. First off, the gang at On3, BamaOnline, killing it. Love the content. Miss hanging out with you guys, including you. So it's awesome to have you on here today. Keep up the good work. Lot going on in recruiting. And I guess this time of year, we want to know who's going to be the early enrollees at Alabama for that next class.
Yeah, I mean, there is, the last couple of years we've seen, a high number of kids that have been able to enroll early, get on campus, and not only just get on campus, but compete in bowl practices. Julian Sang, for instance, told me a couple of weeks ago, number one quarterback in the country, Alabama, commitment, been a long time. Commitment to Alabama since, I guess, last November, so over a year now. He said he's going to graduate, I believe, on December the 14th. And then he said December the 15th, he's flying. He's on a flight to Tuscaloosa. So you're going to see a lot of those kids in this 2024 class that are going to be there for bowl practices, 16 total as of now. Obviously, that number can change when, we start seeing more kids make decisions over the course of this next month or so. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of guys coming in, as I mentioned, Julian Sang being one of those guys. And I wrote a story earlier this week on, five guys that I felt like, this could really benefit, to get there early, to start, training, to start going through practices, to get acclimated with everything. And, a lot of these guys aren't necessarily going to come in and start right off the bat. Some of them are going to still have to wait their turn. There are going to be some guys that, it's going to be hard to keep them off the field in some capacity, whether that's, special teams, or you never know. I mean, you might even have somebody come in and make an impact as a starter. We saw with Caleb Downs, Caden Proctor. Will we potentially see another secondary guy come in and make an impact? Jalen Mbakwe, 5-star corner out of Clay Chalkville, one of the best players in the country, rated as the number one athlete in the country, actually. Played his entire senior season at quarterback. Led his team to an undefeated record. They beat Thompson this year, going into the state playoffs. I think that him getting to campus early. He hasn't played corner much this season, but that's the position he's going to play. And Alabama could potentially lose maybe 2 corners in the spring with Kool-Aid McKinstry and potentially Terry and Arnold. Both of those guys could declare early, go in the draft, and there's going to be there's going to be a spot or 2 open at the cornerback position. So you get somebody like Jalen Mbakwe in there, 5-star kid, got all the tools you look for. Get him there in January, start working with him, get him prepared, and he may not start, but he's at least going to add some competition to that cornerback room, and really push some guys to step up and kind of take the bull by the horn. So, yeah, I mean, we've seen the benefits of this. These kids are more and more kids every single year. Enroll early. Casey Poe, for instance, number 1 interior offensive lineman in the country out of Texas. He's going to be enrolling early, and he was not planning to do that. He was actually a state champion in the shot put and discus as a sophomore. Now, he didn't win it as a junior, so he kind of had it in his head that he was going to go back. Wants to win it again. So he was like, I'll enroll in May. But talked to Alabama a little bit, and he decided that it was time for him to just set that aside, get to Tuscaloosa, start doing what he was meant to do. So we might see another player or 2 do that over the course of the next month. But as of right now, 16 early enrollees.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Let's talk recruiting. What does Alabama have going on right now? What are they doing to try to solidify this class, the 2024 class? I know they have most of it done. And then is there anything going on outside of that you think is important and that we can follow at BamaOnline and on the On3 Sports Network?
Yeah, so as far as Alabama is concerned, the biggest thing is trying to finish out this class and hit your remaining needs. You look at the offense side of the ball. I think they still want to get a running back. They want to make sure that their guys who are committed right now stay committed. Caleb Odom, the number 1 tight end in the country, that took back-to-back visits to Ole Miss. But I think Alabama is still, in a pretty good position with Caleb Odom. As we get a little bit closer to the early signing period, trying to get an offensive lineman. Jordan Seaton remains kind of their top priority on the offensive line front. Not really a lot of other offensive targets for Alabama. Defense side of the ball, a few more. Defensive line, still looking for maybe 2, potentially 3. But I think as long as they can get 2 defensive linemen over the course of the next month or so, they're going to be pretty happy with the D-line class. Potentially 1 more, maybe 2 more linebackers. I think they'd like to get another inside guy. I think they'd like to get an edge rusher, and then defensive back wise, still 1 guy out there, Zay Mincy, but Alabama has 6 defensive back commitments. I think they'd be fine. Shutting it down there. But Zay Mincy out of Mainland High School in Daytona Beach, if he decided that he wants to come, I don't think they would turn him down. But like I said, the biggest focus is just trying to hit those remaining needs, trying to keep the kids that are in your class committed, get them signed, and then move on to complete focus to 2025, which as of right now, Alabama has 7 commitments in their 2025 class. They could potentially have 8 come Sunday because Zion Grady, top 100 outside linebacker from Charles Henderson High School in Troy, he will be announcing his college commitment on Sunday at 3 p.m. So that's something that we're going to be watching very closely at BamaOnline, and we'll have full coverage of Zion's commitment. If he picks Alabama, of course, if he goes somewhere else, like Auburn or Georgia, Florida State, those guys will have it as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully he comes to Tuscaloosa, right? We need some more impact players. Bone, this segment always presented in part by newlifeart.com. You can see I'm like covered in the Daniel Moore prints here in the studio. You walk in and you can't miss the wall of champions, I call it. You know, the Daniel Moore prints from each of Nick Saban's championship wins are on the wall, and here you love them as well. And you can use the promo code Bama Tailgate for a discount. The code Bama Tailgate or Mick Gillispie at checkout, and always a lot of really cool deals, including free calendar with purchase, stuff like that. So, what can people expect to see from you, Bone, at BamaOnline?
Well, obviously, we're going to continue to, bring out, a lot of coverage, leading up to the early signing period, the big names that are, still on the board, where things stand in their recruitment, a lot of predictions. Obviously, we'll be interacting with fans, every single day on the BamaOnline message board, the round table. So come check us out, come hang out with us. I think you can subscribe for $1 for 1 month.
Oh, nice.
So check it out, BamaOnline.com, where you get to hang out with me, get to hang out with our entire staff. We got a great staff over there. Cover the team, cover recruiting. Basketball season is off to a hot start. So, we'll be talking hoops, talking football, and recruiting every day on Bama Online.
Awesome. Yep. All-star team over there, BamaOnline, part of On3 Sports. When we come back to the Flora-Bama, we're going to have a drink in honor of Bone. We're going to, Bone, for you, since we're playing Kentucky, we're going to do a Skrewball old-fashioned. So we'll see how that tastes. Yeah, it's going to be delicious in your honor. Don't go anywhere. More of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show after this.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute, sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at danielmooreart.com.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer from the Flora-Bama, and we're excited that football is back. The Flora-Bama is proud to support Alabama football, and we invite you to join us at Flora-Bama Over Grill for a game day experience like no other. We have over 40 TVs and a brand new game day menu that includes endless wings, Santa Fe egg rolls, street corn nachos, and so much more. Bring your friends and join us for all the college and NFL games. Flora-Bama's Old River Grill, open at 11 a.m. daily, right across the street from the world-famous Flora-Bama.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Skrewball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Skrewball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Skrewball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to SkrewballWhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Skrewball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors. 35.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
This is my great escape.
Where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort?
No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Guys, welcome back to the original Bama Football Tailgate Show as we talk about Alabama and Kentucky, 11 a.m. across the state of Alabama. We're covering it here on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. It's time for our odds segment with our good buddy Kenny White from out in Vegas. He obviously comes on every week. You guys know about the power ratings, and Reagan from R&R Cigars. So we're going to pick some games, and before we do that, guys, as painful as it is for me and not as painful as it is for you guys, I got to put the standings up. There it is. Reagan and Kenny, some damn way, are tied at 18 and 12. And there I am at 10 and 20. I can't even believe this, but it's happening right now, which means this is a two-horse race down the stretch. We got this week, next week, and the next week, and it looks like we're going to have an SEC championship game. So we got some games to go, but congratulations to both of you guys for having just a fantastic season so far. And as we pick games, I want to remind you guys to go over to Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi, Philadelphia. It's less than 2 hours from Tuscaloosa. They got the Timeout Sports Lounge where you can go in there and make all your picks count, just like Kenny can anywhere in Vegas. That's our little chip of Vegas in Tuscaloosa, Pearl River Resort. All right, guys, let's get into this right now. Let's just go ahead and start. Michigan at Penn State. I'm going to start with you, Kenny. Tell us about the power ratings and then give us what you think about this fantastic football game on at the same time as Alabama.
Yeah, thanks, Mick. Yeah, the power ratings right now, 5 sports I'm putting out every day. You get the updated power ratings, but it's not just about power ratings. You get the projections. I project the final score in every game that hasn't been played, not just this week in week 11. I've got the final scores for week 12, 13, 14, 15 in college football. The NFL, I have the final scores for every week 11 or week 10. This week coming up, all the way through week 18 of the season. NHL, NBA, college basketball, those numbers come out every day. That's $20 a month for all of that you get. It's a ridiculous value. I've got a lot of people from Alabama that have signed up, but so many people around the country are taking advantage of it. I'm having a great year in most of those sports too, so people are using it to make money every day. My pick, Michigan, Penn State. This is the first time Michigan's been in a competitive game. The smallest point spread they've been so far this year is 17. Every game they've walked into is going to be a blowout or a 3-score football game. Here we are. It'll be their first 1-score game of the year. Penn State has already played one. That was against Ohio State, but it was at the Horseshoe on the road. This Nittany Lion team is a much better team when they're playing in Happy Valley. I think this game is going down to the wire, and I think the Nittany Lions get the victory in this football game. They beat Michigan with all that stuff swirling around in Ann Arbor with the sign stealing gate. I think Michigan's going down this week.
Oh, wow. That'd be a big one. All right, Reagan, there you are. What do you think?
I mean, come on. Michigan, does anybody actually think Michigan is a top 5 team in college football? I don't. Even with the sign stealing, they still look terrible. I mean, maybe they don't look terrible, but, they've been beating like high school teams. So I personally I'm not in the Michigan bandwagon. I don't really like Harbaugh. It's hard to trust a man that drinks milk out in public when they're eating a steak. So not a big fan. I think this week is the week that James Franklin finally beats a big school for the first time. I like, you guys love to talk about home dogs. Well, woof, 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 woof. I'm going to go with the home dog again this week with Penn State.
All right, thanks. Yeah, look, I'm going to lose probably, but I'm taking Michigan. I'm giving up the points. I'm tired of James Franklin always being that guy like, hey, we're going to win this week. This is our week. And then it ends up not being the week for the Nittany Lions. I believe in him. I think he's a good coach, but I think Michigan covers the 5 and they win this football game. All right, guys, this was the toughest game that you're gonna deal with this week. It's a game that, Reagan, you didn't want to tangle with, and I know why. It's because Tennessee's at Missouri. It's a 1-point spread, and I'm going to let you go first. 1 point. Missouri, kind of the surprise team, or Tennessee, who's been building?
This one is really tough because I really don't like it. It's just like, hey, I mean, battle for mediocrity, right? Like what these two teams are middle of the pack SEC for some reason, whatever. But they're number 14. But would they win a whole lot of games? I don't know. Anyway, long story short, it is tough, and I do have to go with Missouri at home. Again, home dogs and all that. I think Missouri pulls it off. Tennessee just hasn't played well on the road under Josh Heupel. So he's just let down a lot of times with Heupel on the road. So give me Missouri. Go Tigers.
I'm with you, Reagan. I'm going with Missouri as well. Their running attack was great. The way that they played and stood up to Georgia on the road was impressive. I like Tennessee. I watch Tennessee. I pay attention to Tennessee, but I'm not sold that they're going to be able to go into Missouri and win this football game. They dealt with injuries this year. I don't know Joe Milton's going to show up. And so in this one, I'm going to go with you. I'm taking Mizzou, the home team, and give me the point. What do you think, Kenny?
Hey, we got team unity. We're all on Missouri. I think it's a great spot for them. Last year, Josh Heupel ran up the score 66-24 over Missouri. And again, these teams get up for so many games a year. This is what Missouri's going to get up for, especially coming off the Georgia game where they played Georgia toe-to-toe in the first half. But you know what happens when you play Georgia tough in the first half? Georgia shows up in the second half, and that's what happened. Nothing against Brady Cook. He was up against a great defense. He's an NFL quarterback. Joe Milton is not. So Missouri, better quarterback. They are 6-1 ATS, the Tigers, over their last 7 games. They are making people money. They're like an ATM machine. Just bet Georgia every week. Or Missouri every week.
Yeah, I got you, Kenny.
Hey, you know what? I bet Missouri over LSU, and they lost me money. So
that was the only one they lost, and that was late.
Yeah, and that was late. The one I bet on, Kenny. So that was the only one that happened.
So you were the guy that made them lose.
You made them lose. You're bad luck. All right, guys. You one more game. Okay, one more game. I'm going to put it up there. Ole Miss at UGA. And Kenny, I'm going to start with you because I want you to tell everyone how they can get the power ratings. They've seen what you are capable of on our show because you're consistently winning. Tell us about the power ratings and who you take it in this Ole Miss at Georgia game. 10.5. It's a pretty big spread for Lane Kiffin.
Sure is. Go to KennyWhiteSports.com. Really easy to get to. I named it that so I would remember the name of the website in case somebody asked me. KennyWhiteSports.com. Sign up for the power ratings. It's $20 a month. Again, you get all the power ratings for every sport, all the projections, win totals for NFL and college football. So you can go look and see how many wins I think your team has projected to finish the season up with. You get college basketball every day, which right now is the best betting sport there possibly could be going. There's a lot of great lines out there to bet. This one, I'm going with the dog. I'm going Mississippi again, plus 10.5. Georgia is 9-0 this year, but they're 2-7 covering spreads. The line has caught up to them. They're just not running scores up like they used to. They don't have that type of team with their tight end out. Their offense isn't as dynamic. They do play Tennessee next, and if they beat Tennessee, they win the division, their side of the division. Mississippi has been good. They're 6-2-1 this year against the spread. These two teams haven't played for about 5-6 years. Mississippi has played the far better strength of schedule, number 9 in the country, and they're 8-1 playing that type of schedule. They are not going to be intimidated in this game.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Reagan, you're in.
Well, did Kenny pick Penn State too?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Me and Kenny are same, but different this week. I'm with you. Why didn't I just let Kenny do my spot for? I could have, it's like my screen went blank and then Kenny stole all my picks. So, I'm with Kenny. Ole Miss, $40 million lawsuit today. That's going to be fun to deal with. But yeah, I think, I think this is the type of offense that Pete Golding is really good against. No Brock Bowers helps. Ole Miss has played everybody pretty close this year too. Not really getting blown out. I mean, only losses to Alabama, and that wasn't a blowout. So I just don't see. I don't know. I don't see a 10-point win for Georgia or whatever the line is because I can't see it on the screen because my computer's bad. But yeah, I think Ole Miss covers. And I think, it's a great season for Lane. And I really think that Ole Miss needs to win this game.
Be something if they did. Let me tell everyone this, Reagan. R&RCigars.com, promo code Bama Tailgate, 20% off and free shipping when you spend over $200 online. And then the other thing that we're promoting right now, which is really fun, is and you wanted this price, $69 for the R&R Cigars Victory Cigar Sampler. Yeah. And that's another thing that you get at BamaTailgate.com. Tell us about it.
Well, it's at RNRCigars.com, not BamaTailgate.com.
Yeah, Bama Tailgate promo code.
Yeah. You don't have to use the promo code for the sampler, but the sampler is $69 if you're just trying to get into cigars or if you're a longtime smoker. We've got a great deal for you for $69. Very nice price. But it's got some of my favorite cigars. It's and includes the Victory cigar that Jenny Dell gave Nick Saban after the Tennessee game. So if you've been wanting to know what cigar Nick Saban was chewing on, here's your chance to get one. This is the only way you can get them currently unless you come to the store. So go to rnrcigars.com and type in Bama Tailgate for the sampler, or just spend $200 and use the promo code Bama Tailgate, or do both, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping. And hopefully you enjoy a victory cigar after Alabama destroys Kentucky this weekend.
Great stuff, guys. Always awesome hanging out with you. And my pick is going to be Georgia. Ole Miss is going to get their ass kicked, and everyone will see that. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us here on the Bama Tailgate Show. We're going to be back. We're going to talk about Alabama and Kentucky. Thanks for being part of this, and don't forget, when we come back, we're going to really get into that. Games at 11 a.m. Roll Tide, everybody. Don't go anywhere.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer from the Flora-Bama, and it's time for Flora-Bama Fun Facts. The Flora-Bama first opened in 1964, and we're celebrating our 59th year of doing it on the line. We host over 150 events every year, including Mullet Toss, Oktoberfest, Halloween Costume Party, Frank Brown Songwriters, Thanksgiving and Christmas Potluck, the biggest New Year's Eve party, and of course, the Polar Bear Plunge on January 1st. All the events, including our live music schedule, are available online at florabama.com.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at danielmooreart.com.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie. TheCigarMansion.com.
See yourself in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here.
This is my great escape.
Where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Back on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, hanging out at the original Flora-Bama. No, it's the original Bama Football Tailgate Show and the original Flora, but the real, the authentic, the world famous Flora-Bama
with Chad Anderson and Chris Bryan. I'm Mick Gillispie talking about Alabama football. Our show is presented by Skrewball, the original peanut butter whiskey. We've got some Skrewball swag and Yuengling Larger, 6th generation company. Chris, make sure you take some of those Yuengling stickers home with you. And this keychain right here, Chad, I'm sorry, I got one left. I'm giving it to Chris, but it's a Yuengling bottle.
It is cool.
That you can actually open a bottle with. That's for you, my friend. Thank you for coming here today.
Well, this is my pleasure. It's so great when we talk to all of these Alabama fans right here.
Oh, yeah. It's been a steady sea.
It's funny because you're sitting here in kind of in the middle of this room, and then you hear down the hallway, RTR.
Well, been a lot of that.
It's a rowdy crowd, let me tell you.
Alabama and Kentucky at 11 o'clock, Chad, and we get into this game. Biggest fear and most confident about today. I love doing this each week. Chad, I'm going to start with you.
Biggest fear is just coming off of 2 big wins and then having this game. Because even when Kentucky's good, they have what I call the Duke syndrome. Like, nobody takes them serious. Duke, I think, is 6-3 this year in football and have played half the season without Riley Leonard, and nobody takes them serious. Same thing with Kentucky. Like, Mark Stoops is the winningest coach in Kentucky football history. By the way, Bear Bryant coached at Kentucky, and Mark Stoops has done a heck of a job of making them relevant. Now, are they ever like going to pass Kentucky basketball? No, but they're just annoying enough. So 11 a.m. kick on the road, little old Kentucky, and Mark Stoops, remember, is a defensive guy. So you get a situation where you get a team that wants to be physical and wants to run the ball. And, they had the game against Florida where you heard Thom earlier, they ran for 400 yards or something crazy. I mean, that's exaggerating, but you know what I mean? Like, Kentucky is just annoying enough. And it's one of those, like, you let them hang around and it's an early morning kick and you sleepwalk too long. That's my biggest fear. We said it at the beginning with Chris and with yourself. Like, that's my biggest fear. You get in that situation. Most confident is in the defense. I know you got 2 guys out today with Key and Lawson, but this defense does a really good job of locking down. They stop the run. The secondary is a strength, not a weakness. Alabama has more interceptions through the first 2 months of this year than they had all of last season. The defense creates turnovers, creates points, all these different things on the field that they're able to do compared to what we previously had with Pete Golding. So confidence is in the defense. Defense travels. Fear is just the time slot and when this falls on the schedule. And Kentucky, not a great team, really barely a good team. They're just simply annoying. And that's what frustrates me for today.
All right. Yeah. What about you, Chris? What do you think? Biggest, most confident about in today's game? And then, obviously the thing you worry about the most.
I think it's going into this game of overconfidence. I think that we have to be very, very careful in terms of how we approach it. I think it's going to be a run game on Bama's side, smashing it down Kentucky in that secondary. I think we've got a run game in the pattern that's developed over the past couple of weeks, looking real strong. But again, that hesitation about not going too far and risking injuries going into the final stretch.
Yeah, I'm with you. Look, here's what I think. I'm always worried about just any game that Alabama plays that they're going to show up and the other team's quarterback, Devin Leary, who's actually a really good quarterback, has like a career day. And then every ball he throws is caught. He plays like Steven Garcia, where you're just like, who is this team? And Kentucky's good enough where if they had this, Herculean effort that they could actually hang with Alabama, and they're due. Like, they're eventually going to win one of these games. I mean, Mike Stoops is a good coach, or Mark Stoops is a good coach. Yeah. All the Stoops brothers are good coaches. Bob, throw him in there. The nephew that's like catching passes at Oklahoma. I like the Stoops, and I respect them, and they're tough. And if Alabama goes into this game, turns the ball over, messes around, it could be one of those games that gets them in trouble. What I'm the most confident about is that I don't think that's going to happen. I think that this team is motivated. I think.
Oh,
just in case someone asks.
Roll Tide.
There's someone's picture on the floor.
You got this one. Here we go.
Here we go. Here, let me see that. Chad, do you know them?
What's going on over there this morning? Like, this is.
If you see them.
Oh, yeah, it's morning into Flora-Bama, let me tell you.
This is early.
They're kissing.
But they're ready for the game. They got the monitors on and everything.
Yeah. So anyway, if you see those people at the Flora-Bama, let them know we got their picture. The other thing is I'm confident that this Alabama team's ready to go, guys. I am. I mean, I just feel like that this is a team that has been through the ups and downs, and it really started with a lot of downs, and now it's ups. And I just feel like Nick Saban's got this team where he wants them. I think the team's balled in, and I think Alabama's going to be fine. All right, can Kentucky establish the run? Can they establish the run? Chris, I'll start with you.
It's going to have to be good because I'm sitting here thinking about that kid, Tavion Robinson and Dane Key and his receivers for Kentucky. They're pretty darn good. As far as the run goes, I think Bama's got them sealed. I'm really not concerned about it.
Chad?
I don't see it.
Does Bama got them sealed?
Yeah, Bama's front's too good. Dallas.
Yeah,
Turner,
they really are.
Braswell, Campbell, Otis. I mean, they got all kinds of guys up front. It's just a Jimmy's and Joe's when it comes to athletes on this one. And Kentucky's rushing attack is 86th in the country. Alabama's defense overall is 26th in the nation. Alabama's just got too much. It's going to take Alabama shooting themselves in the foot to open up Kentucky's run game.
Well, Jen from Flora-Bama, Steve, gotta make room for Jen. She just brought me
fuel in there. I see that.
She brought me a Kentucky mule. So that's what we're doing right now. I don't think that Kentucky's going to be able to run the football on us at all. I just don't see it happening. And I think Alabama stops the run, and that's kind of how that goes down. All right, UK versus Alabama memories. I'm sure you don't have any of those.
No, I mean, I have some Kentucky and Auburn memories, I guess.
Well, you're an Auburn fan, but you're
I've been to quite a few Alabama games, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen's our contact here and our good friend Chad. So he was. They were
be nice. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they were talking about us high fiving on the pre-show.
Oh, good.
And when you bring Whiskey Willie over and a Bloody Mary for me. I mean, I've got the way that Jake Coker left me last night. You
needed some help. There was some assistance definitely needed, and I was here to take care of you.
You did.
Yeah.
All right. Look, when we come back, we're going to talk more Alabama football, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us again right here on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. We got more coming up right after this.
TR.
Oh, I still.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. It's people welcoming with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer from the Flora-Bama, and it's time for Flora-Bama Fun Facts. The Flora-Bama first opened in 1964, and we're celebrating our 59th year of doing it on the line. We host over 150 events every year, including Mullet Toss, Oktoberfest, Halloween Costume Party, Frank Brown Songwriters, Thanksgiving and Christmas Potluck, the biggest New Year's Eve party, and of course, the Polar Bear Plunge on January 1st. All the events, including our live music schedule, are available online at florabama.com.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at danielmooreart.com.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
R&R Cigars invites you to the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa. The best cigar selection and bourbon in the Southeast awaits you. 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, near Home 2 Suites, or Northport, next to Winn-Dixie. TheCigarMansion.com.
See yourself in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here.
This is my great escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots. Taking in the big pot.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort? No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
Back on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show from the Flora-Bama down here on the line in Perdido Key in Orange Beach. Getting you ready for number 8 Alabama and Kentucky 11 o'clock kickoff. And it is great to have Jen Parnell from the Flora-Bama, Chris, Bryan from WPNN and Fox Sports Radio in Pensacola, and Chad Anderson, who's my partner on the show, all of us together to talk Alabama football. Let's just get it started with some serious talk here. Alabama, Kentucky.
Yeah, let's do
you guys
it.
ready?
Yeah.
What's your favorite bourbon drink?
My favorite bourbon drink?
Yeah.
Well, I guess now it's this, what should I call it? Kentucky Mule. That's what it is. Yeah, it's bourbon and ginger beer.
Oh, that's
actually
great.
delicious.
So easy to
because in
make.
Bermuda, they call that like a dark and stormy.
Really?
Yeah, with ginger beer, but it has to be Gosling's dark Gosling's.
Yeah.
But with that ginger beer.
And they call that a dark and stormy because I thought a dark and stormy was
Dark and stormy.
rum and something else.
Gosling's rum.
Yeah.
It's made in Bermuda.
Uh-huh.
And then you add a little bit of lime on there and ginger beer.
Well,
and it's
yeah.
got and it has to be Bartlett's ginger beer.
Very specific.
Has to be, huh?
Yep.
To be a real dark and stormy.
Oh, yeah, right on. Chad, what's your I know you don't drink anymore, but did you ever have a favorite bourbon drink?
Well, like my dad, you know him, Mick, OG
Catfish, OG
yeah,
Catfish.
like that guy. Like he used to say, I drank enough in my 20s to float a battleship. So
you were floating a battleship?
Yeah, so I've been there. I'm actually having a drink this morning, but I switched. You can tell I'm like old and can't take things anymore because I'm drinking hard kombuchas. Like that's the
hard kombuchas.
Yeah, that's
what
the
about
extent of my
kombuchas?
That's what he's drinking. Yeah, Jen's headsets aren't plugged in. So
I love kombucha.
That's the extent of it.
I
Although
drink kombucha every morning.
when I see you got to get on that train, Mick.
Tell me that.
When I did drink, probably more than I should have, it was old fashions, and I loved a rye rye drink or rye whiskey, Sazerac or Bullet. And old fashions. Kentucky mules are good too, though. I do like Kentucky mules, but I was an old fashioned guy.
Well, I'm going to tell you the best bourbon is actually Blanton's, but then the Bullet 10-year is really good too. But I'm a fan of pretty much all of them.
All of them?
Yeah. Well, you know that. I mean, like, I haven't really found many I don't like, but they have to be made. They have to be made in
every bourbon ever.
Pretty much.
It's like if it has alcohol in it. I'm
just going to go ahead and tell you, they all taste pretty much the same. I mean, there's a little difference. All right, let's start this round table with Ken. Is Alabama ready to dominate? Is Alabama ready to dominate? Steve Bryan.
Okay, I'll take this one. Let's go for some numbers. We'll go for some numbers.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. The Tide and Wildcats. Get this one. Alabama, they played 41 times. Alabama's won 38.
Yeah.
Lost 2, tied 1.
Yep.
You tell me what's going on here. Saban's never lost to Kentucky. Stoops has never lost to beat Alabama.
Yeah, right.
The numbers are there.
Yeah. Are they ready?
I think they're absolutely ready. You got to be kidding me. Like, I don't foresee Alabama losing this football.
And as an Auburn fan, you're watching going, man, they're back again.
Well, and they make it look so easy. As an Auburn fan, it's always a struggle and up and a down. And Alabama, I know not all the time has been this way, but for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're like, this is the year.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they're back to ass kicking again.
Yeah, there you go. They pull
It's the way it is. Chad.
Yeah, it's just a brand game, you know, like Alabama's brand is just that much better than Kentucky's brand. And what you guys have already said, I mean, Bama doesn't lose to Kentucky and Stoops hasn't won these big games. Alabama doesn't really lose these games. I mean, it's all set there. Alabama, it's a weird spot, but still it's just Bama's got athletes everywhere.
Yeah.
And, they got fans everywhere. Bama's got the best fans in the world.
Yeah,
they are just nailing us around here.
I know. You're getting a lot of roll tides right now. People are very proud of this team and this program. But that's not why Alabama's going to stop them. But Alabama's going to stop them because they're going to stop the run. They're going to beat them at the line of scrimmage. They're going to rush the quarterback. They're going to hit Devin Leary a lot. And they're going to move the football. They're going to hit a couple deep balls. They're going to run the ball a lot more with the running backs this week than Milroe. I think this is an Alabama team that is ready to roll. I mean, I really do. I think this is a team that this game is going to be the one where you're like, okay, everybody probably needs to watch out. And it's taken all of these games, the going to Texas A&M, the struggle in the first half against Lane Kiffin, being trolled all week by him, and then winning the second half, and then Texas A&M, and then, the Tennessee, and then the comeback in that game, and then LSU. And now it's like, man, Milroe's healthy. And he's ready to rock, and I think that this team's ready to rock.
And we go back to my first statements when we first started about be careful, don't get him injured going into the final stretch.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's. I watched the way that he just balled over those LSU guys last week. Did you see that? That was crazy.
I watched some of it. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, trucked them. We called it trucking back in the day.
Let me kind of go back a second here. We were talking about bourbon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk more about bourbon.
Perfect morning for bourbon because kickoff temperatures.
Yeah.
In just about an hour from now.
It'll warm you up.
48 degrees.
Yeah, 48 degrees.
It's a brown water morning.
Man.
Brown water. You can do the brown water. That's a great point, Chad. And
today you can do
Chris.
brown water. Yeah. Last week against LSU, brown water and a 6:45 kickoff. That's hard to do.
That's what's crazy.
That's a long day of brown water.
Right. A lot of brown water. What's crazy to me about college football is that you're all over the place with the start times. I mean, they may call you and be like, hey, man, you guys are going to play at 11:37. And it's like, okay, and then the next week you're playing at like 8 o'clock. I mean, look at where the different start times Alabama's had this year.
And listen, as a programmer,
that's right.
An affiliate programmer, it drives us crazy.
Yeah,
because you don't know the start kickoff time. You're floating your schedules.
Yeah,
and then you get a call from like Eric Nichols from Learfield at Alabama, and he goes, "Well, we're going to do a 2:30 game this week."
Yeah, right.
Well, I thought we were doing it at 11, and thought we were doing.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, it's a nightmare on my side in terms of programming.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Chad, I'm going to start with you this time around. Nick Saban said that he woke up, I think Sunday, and he was tired.
Oh,
and
he lives tired.
Yeah, and he had to tell himself, as tired Nick, that it was time to get ready and forget all the tiredness Are you worried about a tired Alabama and a tired Nick Saban?
No, I'm not worried about a tired Nick Saban because that's what Saban does. He wakes up and says, oh my God, who are we playing this week? And it could be the Citadel, it could be Kentucky, it could be Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care. That's what's so great about Saban is that he literally coaches against a certain standard and doing things the right way. But what's so hard, even as a head coach, and he's been at Alabama for a number of years, is getting the players to buy into that week in and week out and constantly having that. Going back to what we talked about a few minutes ago to open this segment, to me, this game is more indicative of what this Alabama team is like. It's really easy to get up for LSU. It's really easy to get pumped up and want to beat Tennessee after what happened last year. Same with LSU. Yeah. That's easy. This game today, here later this morning, this is the weird game. This is the one that really tells you, like you said, Mick, this is the one that tells you, is this team serious? Like, are they taking these final 3 weeks and possibly 4 weeks? Are they taking those serious? Again, it'll be easy to get up for Georgia, but are they taking these weeks serious leading down the stretch? So that's why, to me, today's game is more indicative. I'm not worried about Saban, but it is really, really hard, even for Nick Saban, to translate that to the players and 21, 22-year-old kids and getting them excited to play Kentucky at 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
What do you think, Jen?
Well, for your question, I can't hear what either.
Yeah. But just about Saban being tired.
No, I think somebody with that much discipline and that much passion and obviously a track record that speaks for itself. I mean, if he's tired, I think he's going to find a way to get through it and still come out successful on the other end.
I know Monday mornings with Saban, and we do those press conferences, and he goes for that Coke bottle and bangs it on the podium. I'm going, this is not going to be good. He's not tired. This guy's a master Houdini.
Yeah.
He will just tell you with a straight face, yeah, we're going to do this, and do totally the opposite.
Right.
I love this guy. He's brilliant.
Yeah,
he's brilliant.
I agree. I don't think he's going to be tired either. I think that he was just making a point. It's been a rough season in the aspect of you playing in so many big games. But I think physically, maybe you feel a little tired, but mentally, I think you feel energized by the fact that you've won some of these big games.
Yeah, maybe even stronger than before.
Yeah, right.
I still think they're going to be very cautious with this game and playing Milroe and not extending him as a real big priority, because they got a long stretch coming up here.
Yeah,
very important stretch, especially playing the Auburn game coming up.
Right. So before we pick the game, we're going to do that next segment. Jen, tell us about everything going on here at the world famous Flora-Bama.
The best place on earth.
It is the best place on earth. I love it.
Well, for football watching, you can always watch football at one of our restaurants across the street, Oliver Grill. They've got 40 TVs, and you're on the water, so you can come by car, by boat. We've got an awesome game day menu. It's just like the perfect little environment to go watch football over there.
And they had, I don't know if it was seasonal or not, but a couple of weeks ago before Halloween, they had that great pumpkin bushwhacker.
I didn't even try that. Whacker. I wanted that.
Oh, man, that thing.
Still make you one.
I would love to have one.
It's great.
Fall jerky.
Yeah. Pumpkins are still around my house.
Yeah, sure.
They're just not jack-o'-lanterns now.
They're just decorative pumpkins.
Yeah. It's a different pumpkin experience. All right, when we come back, we're going to pick this game, and then we're going to wrap up the radio show, but we're going to stay on and do some more digital talking on the Bama Tailgate channel on YouTube. So we got a lot going on. So I don't want to, as they say, without further ado, one more break, and we'll be right back.
Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, has been making beer in America for 6 generations. And for nearly 200 years, we've been all about bringing the good times. By hand, by foot, by bike, by bikers, by fanny pack or jetpack, by whatever means necessary. With Yuengling Traditional Lager, good times taste even better. Yuengling, bring the goods.
Autumn brings vivid colors to the back roads and hollows of Sevierville, Tennessee. Wind your way to quaint country churches, a historic covered bridge, and even a pick-your-own apple orchard. This fall, the best views are yours on Sevierville's Rocky Flats Fall Driving Tour. Learn more and find additional fall drives to enjoy at visitsevierville.com/fall.
Immerse yourself in the continuing dynasty of Alabama football with The Legacy Continues, a visually striking image from artist Daniel A. Moore. This sequel to Moore's 1992 sold-out painting, The Crimson Legacy, features iconic moments and memorabilia from the last 30 seasons of Tide football. Don't miss your opportunity to own this lasting tribute sure to be cherished by Bama fans for years to come. Pre-order The Legacy Continues now at danielmooreart.com.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer from the Flora-Bama, and we're excited that football is back. The Flora-Bama is proud to support Alabama football, and we invite you to join us at Flora-Bama Over Grill for a game day experience like no other. We have over 40 TVs and a brand new game day menu that includes endless wings, Santa Fe egg rolls, street corn nachos, and so much more. Bring your friends and join us for all the college and NFL games. Flora-Bama's Old River Grill, open at 11 a.m. daily, right across the street from the world-famous Flora-Bama.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Skrewball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Skrewball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Skrewball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to SkrewballWhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Skrewball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors.
Tuscaloosa is Alabama's ultimate sports destination and a place for outdoor enthusiasts to thrive. It's a community rooted in history and one that's on the cusp of a burgeoning art scene too. Tuscaloosa is vibrant, it's charming, and it's familiar. Its people welcome you with open arms and warm hellos into a community that's tied together. Tuscaloosa is our home.
This is my great escape,
where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots.
Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort?
No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
At Pearl River Resort.
All right, we're back at the original, the best, and the world famous Flora-Bama. Jen, you can hear now.
No,
Jen,
I can't. It's gone again.
I got
hear?
one.
No.
Well, now we gave up our one. And
Oh, wait a minute. I lost one.
You lost
I'm
one.
now, there it goes.
Chad can hear with both ears, but our show's brought to you by Yuengling Larger. We've got just a little bit of Yuengling swag left, some stickers, some pens.
People love that swag.
Keychains. I know they do.
They love it.
They love it. And we're talking Alabama and Kentucky. That is an 11 o'clock kickoff. And, just to be part of everything going on, we even did some bourbon drinks out here.
And this is early on a Saturday.
Yeah,
morning.
it is. I mean, can you believe we're drinking this early?
I thought we did this crazy stuff in New Orleans.
We met One-Eyed Willie, no Whiskey Willie.
Yeah, he started this whole thing off tonight.
Sounds like more like One-Eyed Mick this morning.
You remember One-Eyed Willie from
Yeah,
the
from the
Goonies?
Goonies.
Okay. All right, let's figure out how and who's going to win this football game. I'm going to start with you, Chris.
Okay.
You break it down. Tell us
Basically,
who's going to win Alabama and Kentucky.
Here's the way it goes. Alabama wins. They lock up the SEC. They're going to go to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. 41.
Feels like they haven't been there forever, too.
41-17.
41-17. Wow, Kentucky was 17.
41-17.
Okay. Yep. All right, Jen.
I'm definitely going with Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the score, what's the line on the game?
11.
11?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
that seems slim, doesn't
I think
it?
so too. I was going to say that I think that Alabama will more than cover that, and maybe even
Double it, maybe?
Yeah, I'm going to go big and say double it.
22-point win?
Yeah.
I like where you're at. I like where your head's at.
It's good.
All right, Chad.
I think Alabama tries to establish the run game. They play defense well. Even though it's on the road, I do like the way Saban has kind of got this team's attention. I heard Malachi Moore in a press conference earlier this week say that they understand every game's an elimination game right now, which is true for Alabama. So I think it'll be a little more low scoring. I'm going to go Alabama 27, Kentucky 17.
Oh, 17. The problem that Kentucky's going to have is they're not going to be able to move the football. They don't have a mobile quarterback, and I think Devin Leary's a good quarterback, but when you're getting smashed by Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell all game, and then you throw at least one pick six in the football game, it's going to be a very quiet, giant high school Texas football stadium, like Chad said. I think this is going to be the game where Vegas is still looking at Alabama like they're the Alabama from the beginning of the year. They got this line at 11. Alabama's going to win something like 31-6.
Yeah.
Kentucky, maybe a couple field goals. I just don't think they're going to be able to do a whole lot. Their game is they have to run the ball. They're not running the ball in Alabama. And the quarterback's not going to run the ball like we saw with Jaden Daniels last week. Looked like Forrest Gump. Like he was like weaving in and out of traffic. Yeah, like they had to put the stop sign up because he just ran right through it. So I think that this is going to be the beginning of this run that Alabama's about to make that is going to take this, that's going to conclude the SEC schedule with a stomping of Georgia and then on to the playoff. And I'm worried about the playoff. There's some offenses that are going to give them trouble in the playoff, but it's not going to happen right now. I'm really excited about this football team. I think it's Nick Saban's best job.
That's a lot.
Well, I think it's like our friend that stopped by. He's exactly right. We met a guy. He's a boat captain, and he swung over here, to tell us.
Yeah, but
this
he had
was the best.
4 of those mules, too.
He had 4 mules, but he said that this is the best coaching job that Nick Saban's had, and I agree.
Well, it takes a lot of work to turn some things around. So
Yeah.
I guess if you can go back to the drawing board and figure out how to make it a successful winning team, that is a big deal.
Yeah. So that's right, man. Thank you, Stephen, for the comment. I'm not going to read that, but I will tell you that Roll Tide. I mean, I'm pretty excited about Alabama at 11 o'clock and what they're going to be able to do.
I can't wait to be talking about the win on Monday morning.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Yeah, you can't wait, and we'll be covering it on the Bama Tailgate channel on YouTube, which, by the way, has been really great. Make sure that if you're not a subscriber to it, that those of you in Radio Land, swing over to YouTube because we cover Alabama every day. And then if you're a fan of Jake Coker, and the Flora-Bama, you guys were instrumental in putting together one of the all-time great podcasts that we haven't really gotten a lot of people to watch yet.
But you're going to. It's going to be great.
Thank you.
It is great. It's going to be very well followed.
Elephant in the Room with Jake Coker and me, and sometimes Ryan Anderson. That's on Disrupt the Media, Roll Tide Pods. It really is the highlight of my week.
It seems that way.
I know.
I definitely
so much
enjoy
fun
it
with those guys. So if you want to check that out as well, do that. And then being here at the Flora-Bama, we got one more game here at least, maybe an SEC championship game. So we probably will see a lot of you coming down the stretch and playoffs, everything else. But you got the Frank Brown Songwriters Convention going on right now.
The festival. It's not really a convention. That kind of sounds like
I know.
But the Songwriters
The
Festival.
numbers are amazing for that festival. It's like 195 performances, 231 something else, 31 stages. My gosh. And it goes to the 19th of this month.
Yep. It's 10 days long. It's the longest running songwriter festival in the country.
Larry Butler was instrumental in putting
Oh my gosh, yeah. So Peggy's upstairs.
Years ago. And I used to work with Larry in town. And what a talent.
Absolutely. I read his book twice.
And
really,
we miss Larry. He passed away way too early in his day. But he was instrumental in putting this whole thing together. So Frank Brown Songwriters Fest is a iconic event.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
Well, it's been great. I mean, somebody will walk by and they'll go like, well, that guy wrote, 12 of the #1 hits that George Strait performs.
Yeah, but you never know. They call them like the unsung heroes of the music business.
Yeah,
So
which is
you
so cool.
learn the story behind the song and where it came from.
And now, it hits me because I'm sitting here watching the artist walk by this morning.
Yeah.
And they're going, I guess they're going to be playing a little bit later this morning here.
Well, guys,
but these amazing songwriters are just kind of flowing in and out of the Bama. So if you're doing something, say Saturday is your place to come.
Well, and I'll tell you
Absolutely.
this, a lot of the songwriters have Yuengling swag now.
Well,
Thanks,
perfect.
guys. All right, listen,
we did tackle
for
them,
you
we gotta be
guys that are
on.
if you guys want to check it out, it's the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. For those of you guys on radio, roll tide, everybody. I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for hanging out with all of us and being part of the Bama Tailgate Show. Alabama and Kentucky coming up next on a lot of your dials. Roll tide, everybody.
RPR.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hi, Barry Buckner. It all adds up. Every time a Tuscaloosa Hyundai customer refers a friend or family member to come see us, we are truly grateful. I compare it to doubling a penny for 30 days. Believe it or not, by day 30, that one penny is over $5 million. Now that's adding up. I remind every Tuscaloosa Hyundai team member, it's only a satisfied customer who will give you a referral. That ultimate compliment earned by effort and excellence. And Tuscaloosa Hyundai has all the tools. A new vehicle lineup to meet any driving need. Premium pre-owned under 100,000 miles that we stand behind with our exclusive million-mile warranty. Award-winning service, a company that values being named best of the best by our community. But above all, we are sincere in earning the trust that leads to a customer referral. And trust is priceless. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hargrove, TuscaloosaHyundai.com.
Hey, this is Reagan, owner of R&R Cigars, the Cigar Mansion in downtown Tuscaloosa, located at 2703 6th Street across from the Home 2 Suites. Come down to R&R and see why we're the ultimate cigar and bourbon experience. With over 165 bourbons and 5 private barrels, our selection of bourbon is unmatched. We have the best cocktails around and our cigar selection is legendary. Our lounge and service are world-class. Come and experience the luxury of the mansion and see why it's a world-renowned cigar and spirits destination.
Check out Pawn Royale at 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport. The summer season is almost over. Time to go to Pawn Royale and find some amazing deals. Right now, our lawn and gardening inventory must go. That includes mowers, trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, you name it. Pawn Royale has deals on everything. Many items at cost or less. If you're in the market, come make a deal. That's Pawn Royale, 1019 McFarland Boulevard in Northport.
Barry Buckner for Genesis of Tuscaloosa. You've heard it said, affordable luxury. But when it comes to affordable service, every new Genesis we sell comes with 3-year, 36,000-mile complimentary service. If you want to pay more, that's your business. If you want to save, that's our business. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
Ownership limitations may apply. See your retailer for details. Genesis reserves the right to change program without notice. Exclusions may apply.
Unique on the Strip. It's the best place to watch sports.
You're not even kidding. 11 TVs, NFL and MLB package, NHL, EPL, and so much more. If you want a game, they have it.
Now they're doing weekly NFL Pick'em, winners every Sunday, and grand prizes on Super Bowl Sunday.
And we haven't even mentioned the drink specials.
Of course they have daily drink specials. You can see them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Unique T-Town every day.
Unique on the Strip, the best place to watch sports in Tuscaloosa.
This is my great escape.
Where there's real gaming excitement.
And I can be who I want to be.
In a sea of slots.
Taking in the big pots.
And always doubling down.
Our friends ask, what do y'all do at Pearl River Resort?
No work.
All play.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Just keeping it real, baby.
Real players.
Real winning.
Real fun.
at Pearl River Resort.
All right, we're back, and it's overtime. Look, no one's left, or everyone's left. Everyone's left except us. But we're going to talk some football. And what's crazy is Jen's husband walked up, and I'm like, hey, I like that shirt. And he's like, what size are you? And I'm like, well, I'm a large or an extra large. There he is right here. Oh, my gosh, dude. Thank you, man. You want to jump on with us? Man, can't put that. I know you got to go eat, but. All right, well, you go eat, but man, thank you.
I always miss the swag.
Put it on. Jump on for a second. We had your wife on, so now we got to have you on. Let me put him in. First off, let's throw you to the crowd here, and you can say whatever you want. This is the digital overtime, so you can say shit or fuck or anything like that. Not that you would want to do that, but
monitor.
There you go. Can you hear?
Beautiful. Hello.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you're on. Chad, let's make Chad jealous. Look at this, Chad.
Dude,
this is what I just got hooked up with right here.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I always
this is
get
my
left out of the
favorite
swag.
shirt, man.
Johnny O's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
I love Johnny O. Johnny O's amazing.
Yeah, let me give him let me put a camera on him. So, I'll tell you what. Let me change out. Yeah, what we're gonna do is this. I was fixing this for 3. Now. I don't have to do that. I fix it for 2.
I've got monitor.
And now you can
I've
hear.
officially joined the conversation.
Yeah, great to finally meet you, man.
Same here.
Look, I feel like I know you, but I don't know you. You know what I mean?
I feel the same way. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you for all you do for us.
Well, thank you guys for having us down here. You look sharp, man. Look at that shirt. Look, just show that off to Chad.
Hey, little Johnny O here too.
Johnny O.
Official endorsement.
Yeah. So you were like the guy that booked the music. Do you still do that?
So I still do it. I do it with
a lot of booking.
It's a whole lot of booking. So on an annual basis, we book 3,500 shows over 6 stages, and there's really nothing to compare that to. You start looking domestically for something that would be comparable. You start looking across the globe, and I've done it, and we really can't find anything. And it's just a testament to how important entertainment is to our brand. And I definitely am still involved. I still do a lot of the booking, orchestrating at the a higher altitude in the company just to make sure that all of our needs are met. But our staff does a fantastic job. We got 4 guys on talent procurement and hell of a production team. So, they do a fantastic job themselves. I've just recently turned over. You guys know Steve Powers. Steve's now our director of entertainment, and Steve is doing a fantastic job, and we think the world of him. So he's taken on my last capacity. I kind of held on to that because it's something that I love and it's near and dear to my heart. But it was just time to turn it over to somebody who really appreciated it and really saw it for what it is in terms of value for the brand.
When you, how long were you doing that for?
So I started here in 2014.
Okay.
And then I took on that capacity right around the latter portion of 2015. And I did that up until this year when I handed over to Steve. So I've had various occupations with Cam and John and the Flora-Bama over that tenure with the company. But my favorite thing in terms of my responsibilities with respect to the company was certainly entertainment.
Oh, no doubt, man. I'll tell you, one of the best experiences. One of the things that I guess I'm most proud of coming here is that I was on vacation from baseball. I've told this story on the air a ton. And Wayne Mills, I went to college with Wayne Mills, and Wayne and I were buddies. And I tell my wife, this a long time ago, and I'm like, we're gonna walk in, and Wayne's gonna see me, and shit's stopping. Like I'm just telling you right now, he's gonna stop playing.
The C's gonna part,
and
Wayne's gonna like, acknowledge my ass right here.
What the fuck are you doing here? And so we walk in, and Wayne stops. And he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" The man on the
true Wayne Mills fashion.
And he's like, "What do you want to hear?" And I'm like, "Well, I want to hear Dinosaur. I want to hear Alabama Blues. I want to, throw them out there." I loved Wayne. I admired Wayne. I don't look up to a lot of people. I looked up to Wayne. Like he was
literally and metaphorically,
right? Yeah. But just like I ran into him when I was at Skoll at a bar in the middle of nowhere, Selma. When I didn't know anybody, I had to go in there to give out dip. That was my college job, and I was kind of scared. I'd heard all these terrible things about that place, and I go in, and then Wayne's in there, and I ended up being like, it was like I was born in Selma.
Oh yeah,
You know, like
such
once
a welcoming
that connection,
guy. Yeah.
well, once the
Gentle
connection
giant.
with him was made, all of a sudden was
Yeah,
like,
you were a local.
I was a local, you know. I think he would have made it big in the business.
Agree.
And it just hurts my heart to think about the way that he went down. And I always admired the hard work that he put in to try to make it in the music.
Yeah, Wayne was the king of underground country, right?
Yeah.
And there's no denying that. And, you know, everybody here understands the legacy that Wayne left behind and truly appreciates everything that he did for not only this place, but country music in general. And everybody in the country music genre really understands exactly who Wayne is. And, you know, that guy has really laid a foundation for a lot of people to be successful in this business. Some of my friends that really got their start in the industry have been able to kind of grow and manage to find themselves on a national scale at this point in time. I don't know if you met Justin Runnels, JR, who is a handler now at this point in time, was Wayne's manager, sold merch for Wayne at one point in time.
Know him, yeah.
And now he's actually Justin Moore's road manager. So,
Nice.
you know, Wayne had that effect on people and just wanted to see people succeed and was truly invested in their success. And, you know, Wayne is just one of a kind, man. And I'll tell you, you know, as far as his spirit's concerned, it lives here. And we're very lucky and blessed to have had Wayne the length of time that we had him. And he'll ever be near and dear to our heart and my heart personally.
When's you guys do a Wayne Mills event every year too?
So
right?
it's actually coming up next weekend is the anniversary of his passing. And, you know, Wayne, like you mentioned, Wayne went out in a terrible way. Nonetheless, you know, he was a true outlaw in the sense of the term. But in every way, just embodied what country music has to offer its listeners, and the specialness that he gave to each one of us as friends, as listeners, and as people who appreciate the genre is just something that can't be replicated.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, look, I know I see you guys have to go to dinner. I don't want to hold you anymore, but thank you. You made my day. I'm going to just show this to Chad one more time.
Yeah.
And
thanks, Mick.
We got more, Chad.
Chad, you got to come in person, though, bro.
Yeah,
you don't. This isn't a. Yeah, this.
You got to get in person.
They're not. You don't get these mailed. These are show and make your friends and do your thing, and then this is part of it.
In person only.
In person only.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, brother. Thanks for everything. And
thank you
have a
guys
great
for
night,
everything.
all right?
Y'all are amazing. We appreciate you.
Yeah, come on. He can't. Hey, thanks again, man. All right, Chad. Let's talk some football, Chad. See ya.
I want to talk swag.
Talk swag because I just got hooked up with a shirt that says it's $120.
It is. That's Johnny O shit's expensive. Man.
I know. It's good stuff. Help yourself, guys. The Yuengling, as much of that as you want.
No, see, that's not fair though. You're out here trading damn Yuengling, and
I'm not trading. He walked up, and I was like, I said, "Hey, I love your shirt," and he goes, "What size do you wear?"
Said, help yourself to Yuengling. Like,
no, stickers and pens and swag. All right, let's talk about this game because we talked about a lot of stuff, and we're going to do a little overtime here. Maybe I'm too confident, but I think Vegas's line is shit. I just think that Alabama's they're not getting the respect that they deserve. 11 points to me, and I get it. Like, Kentucky's a fundamentally good football team, and Alabama is a hired killer. Like, they're coming in there to just this is the game that they were talking about, sending everyone home early. It's happening.
This is the what do they call it? The earmark of an ass whooping.
Yeah,
it's that game.
I'm serious.
I mean, Kentucky is the Iowa of the SEC. Is that a good comparison? Like,
I don't even think they're Iowa. They're more like Iowa State or something. Like,
Iowa State of the Big 12. I got you.
Iowa's actually, like, to me, a step above Kentucky. I mean, of the teams that are in the SEC, like Kentucky's. Help yourself. Kentucky's having the most success that they've ever had. You know, with Mark Stoops, who gives them a competitive chance, and they're still, fourth.
It's crazy how long he's been there.
Yeah, and he deserves to be there. He's a good coach.
Years? Yeah.
It's not like he's a bad coach.
So one thing, since we're off radio now, I want to add a graphic here
Yeah, throw it up.
And let's see how it looks. So we'll work on making this a little bit better too, because it didn't pop up as easy as I thought it might. Let's see if we can fix that too. Let's get to. All right, we'll leave it at that. So we're going to try to add some of these graphics each and every week, but here are some of the stats
I like
that we kind of put together. Yeah, it's
It looks good
stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's some of the stuff, and we'll have to drop the. Here we go. So if we take a look at this, I mean, this is Alabama, Kentucky, kind of just the head-to-head comparison and some of the important data points, right, for tomorrow morning. So points per game, pretty similar. Alabama only scoring 2 points, rounding up there, more per game than Kentucky. But look at some of this other. So if you go down the list, Mick, I was honest to God a little surprised at the total offense, that Alabama was 71st in total offense.
But don't you feel like a lot of that was early in the season?
Yeah, correct. Early season. Yeah. So they didn't like break it out in the last few weeks. I mean, Alabama had over 500 yards against LSU. So they didn't really break it out, to, hey, what happened since October, what was it? The second or third, fourth, whatever it was that they played A&M, 7th, I think. Defense, though, Alabama 26th in the country. Even that, when you play LSU, the nation's best offense before last week, and then Texas is no joke on offense as well. They score a lot of points. Like 26 is not bad at all, considering some of the opponents Alabama's had. Turnover margin, they're pretty close there. Look at this, though. And I pulled this one out. Make this third down conversion percentage. This is third down offensive conversion. So Alabama, 19th in the country. Last week, that was so big against LSU.
Right.
Alabama was 11 of 14 on third down against LSU. And so much credit to Jalen Milroe on those third down conversions. He made so much happen with his legs. And then penalties. Alabama gets a lot of grief, and for good reason, for what they have happened on the penalty side. A lot of pre-snap penalties, just discipline, things like that. 65th in the country, which is about the halfway point. So they're just right smack in the middle of college football when it comes to penalties. Look how bad Kentucky is for penalties.
Yeah.
104th.
Yeah.
So to me, the things that stand out here, Kentucky, the 90th best offense against the 26th best defense. Alabama's third down conversion percentage, and then the penalties. Those three things really stand out as lopsided in favor of the Crimson Tide.
Well, I mean, part of this too is where Kentucky. What always happens with Kentucky is that they get beat up this time of year, and every football team does. But what Alabama's always had, and Nick Saban's always done a great job of, is building depth. And you lose Key and you lose Lawson, and you know what? The next couple guys are going to step up. You're not even going to notice that they're not there. Kentucky can't lose guys like that.
Yeah,
that's the first thing. The second thing is, like, this team. I just can't imagine a scenario where they go in and they're jumping off sides and they're not focused. And I mean, I just feel like that they're ready to turn the damn corner and make things happen. Like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see them not being prepared.
So Steven's asking, where do their running backs rank in the league? So if you look at the NCAA stats, this is based on the team perspective here, not an individual running back, but from a team perspective, Alabama is number 59 in the country in the rushing attack, offensive rushing game, and Kentucky is 85th in the country in rushing. So Alabama has the advantage there. One thing though, Mick, and I think this is a testament to how much better this Alabama team has gotten week after week, because you look at some of these stats and you're just like, man, Alabama just doesn't dominate in one category. But I think if you had looked at this team in September and then compare to the progress they've made from September through this point in November, I think, and I know these numbers were a whole lot worse. I mean, a whole lot worse. Alabama was not scoring 32 points a game. Their total offense was probably worse. I mean, I can't even imagine. I don't have the number, but imagine how bad it was nationally after that South Florida game. Imagine how bad they were from a penalties perspective after just the Texas A&M game, just Texas A&M alone, where they had, 14 penalties and 9 of them pre-snap.
Yeah.
Like these numbers here on the screen are not indicative of a traditional 8-1, number 8 in the country, about to win the SEC West, fighting for a playoff position, Alabama Crimson Tide team. But I think if you took this snapshot of what do these stats look like at the end of September and then compare them to today, significantly better.
Right, and that's where I'm at with these guys right now. You have to look at the entire body of work when you make these stats, right? But when you look with where this team has improved week after week, this isn't anywhere near the same team that Alabama had at the beginning of the season.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like the offensive line is substantially better. They're substantially better at quarterback. They're an Alabama team that doesn't have to worry about rat poison.
Yeah, and it is a good thing, honestly. Like this team plays with an underdog mentality.
Yeah,
they do. They just nobody believes in them. Hell, myself, shit. I'd still worry about this team, honestly, week to week.
Yeah,
I'm worried about them a little bit in the morning. Like, I think they'll win, but I'm a little worried.
You're a lot more worried than I am. I'm not.
Yeah, when you say 31-6, yeah.
Well, I mean, I just feel like we're at the point now where it's like, they're going in there and they're gonna this. When Dallas Turner was saying, we want to play joyous murder ball, I was laughing.
Yeah, murder.
Now I'm starting to see, this stuff where I'm going, you know what, man, this is for real, man. Like these guys it's coming together. I mean, it's not perfect, and it's hard when you're playing against guys like Jaden Daniels, who, dude, was amazing, right?
Gump, right? Yeah,
he was like Gump running around out there. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're seeing improvement, and it's exciting because I think that's what's going to translate as Alabama moves forward. And I think they're going to beat Georgia, and I think they're going to win the SEC. And Auburn's going to be tough. It always is. Yeah. But this game look, if you're going to win a national championship, this shouldn't be tough.
So I thought this was interesting. A couple of these tweets, compliments of our friends at Touchdown Alabama. But how about Urban Meyer here? Right now, the Reggie Bush, Percy Harvin of college football is playing quarterback at Alabama.
Yeah.
This is a guy that coached Tim Tebow.
I know.
Coach Percy Harvin. Coached a lot of fantastic players at the University of Florida and Ohio State.
Right.
Honestly. Beat Alabama at Ohio State. Beat Alabama once at Florida. Yep. So that's
I was there
high
for
remarks.
I was actually there for him beating Alabama with you. I was there with you when we lost to Florida, and he was coaching. I was there with you when we lost with Ohio State, and I told you guys we weren't going to win.
Yeah,
and you guys were mad about that.
This one cracks me up. Nick Saban saying he woke up on Sunday morning. Miss Terry said it's going to be hard playing at Auburn.
I know.
This is by far my favorite quote and tweet of the entire week.
Right.
I can just imagine Nick Saban, he kind of like wakes up, gets his coffee, sits in his chair, watching his game film, eating his oatmeal cream pie, letting the dog out, the whole deal. And then Terry comes walking through the living room and is just kind of like, damn, Nick, it's going to be hard to beat Auburn. He's like, can't you just imagine?
I know. He hates that stuff.
He does. It's rap.
I know. I love Miss Terry. I mean, she's just awesome. She's the balance to Nick Saban. She just balances him in such a way that's like, hey, he needs it. He needs that balance. I want to throw up
one last thing, and we just haven't talked about this enough.
All right,
but I know you talked about it a little bit the other night when it came out. We've talked about it. You've talked about style points. Robert's talked about style points. I gave Robert shit about style points. I gave you shit about style points.
Right, and I stand by that.
Well, and I still think that. Well, when I said I don't care about style points, I don't think they matter, because I didn't think the college football playoff committee was dumb as shit. Like I look at this, Mick, and it's starting to pick up momentum on social media, which Alabama needs.
Right.
The Crimson Tide, unfortunately, got a bad break last week when Chris Kleiman and Kansas State decided to. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Like, how do you go for it on 4th and goal from the 4 in overtime? It wasn't the 1. Yeah, like you're at the 4.
I know.
And I just don't get that. And I really thought Kansas State was going to win that game. Texas held on. Kudos to them. I don't really know. I don't think TCU is much of a challenge for Texas tomorrow unless Quinn Ewers is not 100% and he, plays when he shouldn't have,
right,
kind of thing. But here it is. I mean, 6, 7, and 8. This is the crew to worry about. So I just look at this, and I'm with Greg McElroy, and honestly, I'm not with him a lot of times. I actually disagree, and he pisses me off a lot of times.
Right. I'm not a huge fan, but
no, not really. But
I liked him at quarterback, though.
I did. I liked him when he was winning championships.
Yeah,
but you just look like I don't understand why Oregon 6. Like, it should be Texas 6, Alabama 7, Oregon 8.
Right.
And then I look at, okay, well, what does the rest of the schedule look like? And I don't see a loss for Oregon. I just don't. And that's what worries me. Mm-hmm. Texas could lose at TCU. I don't think they will, but they could. Texas could lose the Big 12 championship.
Oh,
maybe.
God. That would be great.
I mean, it would be huge. But I look at this. So you're right. All right. So there's 5 other teams not on the screen. Georgia, which Alabama would end up beating.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, it would be the winner of Michigan, Ohio State.
Right.
Okay. So that's 2. I don't know if Florida State's going to get beat. That's 3. I hope Louisville can beat them, but I don't know if they can. That's 3. So now you're down to 4. And the 4 is between Washington, Oregon, Texas, and Alabama. If Washington wins, Georgia would lose. So you'd have the winner of Michigan.
Doing
Ohio
a podcast.
State.
Help yourself to that. Some
Grab them
stickers
all. Sorry, you'd have winner of Michigan, Ohio State. I misspoke earlier. Winner of Michigan, Ohio State. You have Florida State. So then there's 2 spots essentially.
I tried to. I mean, this is, and I'm listening. I muted the board, except I forgot that I took my. I just used. I went to the small board, so I muted a board that's not on. I think you guys be able to hear that.
It's all.
I'm listening. Go back to it. I'm hearing you. So
you're good, bud.
Okay, finish this point.
No, you said it before. We've talked about it. So we're just running through the standings again. You got Michigan, Ohio State. That winner. That's 1 spot. Assuming Michigan doesn't lose tomorrow,
right?
Then you're going to have the Michigan Ohio State winner as making it, right? So that's 1 spot. All right. So then Florida State. I don't see Miami winning that game tomorrow. I don't know if Louisville can beat Florida State.
Well, that's what upsets are for, though, man. I mean, you don't ever see an upset coming. I mean, it's not like you're like, it wouldn't be that much of an upset if you got the upset,
You're right. But that's
upsets are like,
2.
I never thought they were going to win, and then they lose,
So that's 2. The winner of Oregon, Washington is going to be 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so, it's just a really weird spot. The part that freaks me out the most is Bama needs Texas to lose. Like, that would just be really helpful. That's a great crotch shot, by the way. So that would just take care of that.
I'm actually, you know how it is. Like,
I know it is, bud. You're
going to get crazy
down.
In here, and I'm breaking down because I've got to go. Out. Well, I've got to go edit the show and send it out. Remember last week, guys? Last week. Well, finish your thoughts so I can tell everybody about last week. What happened?
It just comes down to Bama really needed that Texas loss last week. But
and they didn't
when it comes to Oregon, Oregon's the most annoying part because they have 1 top 25 win.
Right.
They have no top 25 games other than Oregon State left.
Yep.
And then the Pac-12 title. So the max they're going to have is 3. That's
but you're
max.
starting to realize what you're saying is that Robert from Mobile, who called into the postgame show, was damn
not
right.
Style points. It's stupidity.
But it doesn't matter.
I can't help that you're that stupid if you're the committee and you pick Oregon.
But what he's saying is he gets that. But what he was saying is that Vegas only has us at 11, an 11-point spread against Kentucky.
Yeah, but it's on. I don't care about.
Look at this.
Okay. Lisa bought you a beer, by the way.
Thank you.
Or Lila. Sorry, I thought
Lila Gray Allen. Roll Tide. I will. I mean, when we're going to do a couple more minutes, and then I really do have to get this thing put up and sent out to all the radio stations because everybody's got to get up early in the morning, so they just want to get this thing plugged in and roll. But thank you. Thank you for the beer, and I would love for you to come here and get one with me, Lila. Come here and do it. You guys are all welcome to come here. So, one of our buddies stopped by. I've got a few people that watch the show swing by today. Awesome. And I said the thing we're going to do, maybe like next year, is we'll just kind of go to a spot where we can put the game on and people can stop and listen. You know.
I would love to do next year, Mick. I would love to do watch parties with people who are able to come by.
That would be cool.
That would be.
And I think that's kind of the next thing. I mean, it's like I'd much rather have a watch party with all you guys than go sit in the football game.
I tell you what. I usually go to 2 or 3 games a year. I went to Tennessee and LSU this year. Bama wins. I'm going to go to the SEC championship.
Yeah.
There are a lot of fans I hate. There are a lot of fans I hate being near during the game. So I would much rather watch games with this crew. This crew is awesome. I know. Steve and Robert and all these guys that comment and hang out with us. Much rather watch.
Nobody's better than Lila, though. He's bought me a beer. All right, guys. Well, that does it. I think we've done 2 hours and 45 minutes. The show, another good show. It'll be on, depending on where you live, tomorrow morning in your market. Some of them is going to be really early, but if you're in Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, it'll be on like right leading into the game, which is pretty cool. Coleman, same way. Same thing with Pensacola. We had Steve Bryan on over here, but we'll be on post game, Chad and I, and we'll see what happens. We'll see who's right. And I think everyone hopes I'm right, but it may not be that way.
I hope you're right.
Look at what Ed says. That would I've never been to one of those parties. Topless ladies, loud music, and a couple of kegs.
Ed, what are topless ladies? Ed, tell me about these fantasies that you talk
when you do go into the main room here at the Flora-Bama, that that there's bras.
There's bras hanging on the wall, right?
And
I was told about this.
Well, they have these bras. Everybody puts those bras in there. They take all the bras and have them cleaned and then donate them at the end of each year to women's shelters. Isn't that cool?
Mick, last story.
All right, last thing.
Me and OG Cat. The only time I've ever been to the Flora-Bama, by the way. The only time. Yeah.
Your dad probably loves this place. Come on.
His picture's probably on the wall.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, the only time I've been there, it was a night that I don't remember past 8 p.m. and the cab driver that we had, my OG Cat paid him $50 because there was a line on the highway to try to get in. And he paid him $50 to drive on the shoulder and drop us off at the front.
I love that about your dad. Hey,
that's it.
Hey, I'm going to tell one more. I'm going to tell a story about his dad. We're in New Orleans for the 06 Alabama LSU game, and we go to Pat O'Brien's, and I mean, the line is like, it's a huge damn line, and I think it was 06. Could have been another one, but
it was 06.
And we want to get in, and I mean, the line's down the street, and we want to sit in the piano bar. Your dad goes in. I still see him like do that move where you like pull out a wad of cash and you lick your thumb, and then you like thumb through it, and he pays somebody $100, $200. All I know is that we had a full table of hurricanes next to the piano, and literally the time that it took for him to walk in there with that wad of cash, like people have probably been waiting out there They've been waiting out there forever.
Yeah.
And your
True
dad,
story.
and we're college, like straight out of college. Like we
True
can't
story.
even afford to pay our, like
I couldn't afford half a hurricane.
No,
you know?
like no. And your dad was just like hooking it up. So, like, thank you guys for being here on the show. 6-0 and Steven and Ed and Lila, all you guys, man. Thank you so much for being here and having a good time with us tonight. I got to get this show out, Chad. You're welcome to stay on. I gotta
go.
Okay. All right, guys, roll tide, everybody. And again, thank you so much. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I think Bama's going to crush them. Maybe I'm wrong.
Hope you're right.
All right. See you.